And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another week, another edition of the 2025 Kung Fu Cup number 3 StarCraft Evolution Edition. I'm of course Joseph VIP. With me, I'm joined by these amazing players, by the people in the chat, and by my plushies as well. Welcome one and all to the return of the Kung Fu Cup. If you're curious, KungFu Cup has made its return as of, I want to say, around the start of the year, initially with Warcraft 3 editions of the event, but now we are here with the StarCraft Evolution Edition. The current plan is to alternate. This week we have StarCraft Evolution, next week Warcraft 3 Evolution. Back and forth is the plan, and we have our first series of the day, !B in the chat, because now have a look at the back yourselves, but spawning in the top right hand corner of Ley Lines, we have our South Korean Terran player, the Red Terran, the Brood War Terran. It is Han Mono. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the Blue Terran player, the Blue Terran player himself, representing Team Starcom. Oh. It is Bratok. Here we go, and already Homeowner, he pulls a couple of boys. He pulls a couple of boys to disrupt the initial opener. He does force a couple of SCVs off the middle line here out of Bratok. And again, this is a fake out. Back at home, CC first out of Homeowner. Homeowner is trying to make it look like he's committing to an early game aggression, early game rush, and he does pull away. He does save his SCVs for the time being. Even the double repair, let's go! The repair, on the repair, the SCVs are going to be safe. And alas, we can settle into our game, but once again, he wants that SCV. Oh, he does want it. And he gets it. Oh my god. Takes down the SCV, delays the racks just barely by a couple of seconds, but a delay nonetheless. More boys are being pulled, another big reaction, more lost mine time. Finally the racks will complete, and Homeowner, he has to get out of here. He has to pull away, has to go back home. Whew, damage was done. Cheeky move here by Homeowner. Also, before I forget, if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the first series here. As a reminder, this is a best of three, and this is StarCraft Evolution. This is Brood War versus SC2. Every now and then we get people coming in asking, hold up, is that like a skin? Is this still SC2? No. It's not a skin. I mean, visually it's meant to look different, but this is the Brood War Terran player up against the SC2 Terran player. Here we go. A mod is actively being worked upon, being balance patched pretty frequently. I would say like at least once a month, sometimes multiple times a month. Is being updated, is being patched. We have new maps being built for the mod as well. We incorporate some SC2 ladder maps, but also some ported Brood War maps as well. And I'm sure we'll get there. The first Reaper does move out. Bunker is not yet done. The SV is going to be falling, and a couple of these SVs are still a little bit weakened from earlier. We get the mass repair going on, and the SV is going to be saved. Meanwhile, the Marine has arrived, and in the end, Homeowner, he will defend. He will defend for now. Meanwhile, the main base is going to be a 3 racks follow-up. 3 racks. We have the Academy behind this. The Academy is designed to get into STIM, to produce medics, and also get into fire bats. So there's a lot of tech, there's a lot of upgrades available here for the Academy. Reaper dips in. Reaper is going to be zoned away, and so far, Homeowner, he does deflect. Is building up towards that stim timing. There it is. Stim is on the way. Now this 3-rack stim timing can hit very hard in StarCraft Evolution. The reasoning for this, the reason why it does hit as hard as it does, as if you're familiar with SC2, you would know that to be able to move out with stim, to be able to have support with your bio army, you do require medevacs. You require your initial 2-3 racks into factory, into starport, into reactors, into medevac production. Here, it's very different. In Brood War, you build up your Marines, and you do not need extra tech to start up your own medic production. Your medic production can begin here and now. And there it is. The first medic is already on the way. You don't need add-ons. You don't need other buildings. I mean, the other building you need is the Academy. And that comes hand in hand with STIM. Reaper goes down, the scat is denied, but Bratoki does confirm the bio count. And here we go. Homeowner, he's pushing, he's going for his timing. The medic is on the way as well to help support, to help facilitate for STIM. And across the map, what do we have? 1-on-1 tank Banshee out of Bratok. One of the more standard TVT builds that we have been seeing as of late. We have been seeing it mixing amongst the Korean Terran players. We just see our first Banshee moving out across the map. Scans a limited scan across the map, does reveal the initial tank, does reveal the delayed CC. And Homeowner, can he break this? With a good enough spread, he can take down that tank. But there is support. Marines have moved down to low ground. Bunker is on the way. Tank does reposition. You see Homeowner does spread out. Does know the tank is on the way. Sorry, the bunker's on the way, I meant to say. Banshee deflected by the turrets. Medic moves in to tank the shot. Will tank. Medic is going to be the first to go down. And the Marines, oh, okay, it's not going to work out. No shot. They do not break through. The bunker does a great job tanking. The Marines, the Banshee as well, and ByuN holds. Whew. ByuN, he does hold on. Now, this was a relatively cheap army that Homeono did get rid of. That's true, but alas, at the same time, the Banshee's still in the main base. May have been deflected from the natural, but is getting some damage done. One SCV going to be going down. Gets one, gets two. Takes down 2 workers. And won't get much more than that. There's a scam where the Banshee can escape. Ooh, yeah, even does force out the stim. Forces out the stim, forces out the skin. We have the Wraith on the way. Wraith is kind of like the Viking, kind of. I mean, the Wraith shoots up and shoots down. The Wraith is a little bit more similar to a Banshee, actually, except it can, or it has mainly anti-air that it's known for. Is more known for its anti-air capabilities. While Homeono is distracted in the main base, here comes the main army. ByuN going for his own move out, his own push. Now, this is without stim. Oh, there we go. This is without stim. Stim is not available here for ByuN, but he does have 2 tanks and the Banshee. That might just be enough as he's edging his way closer. Homeono stims in, gets the first tank. First tank goes down, but the second tank does siege. Whew. Scan, getting eyes on the setup. Boys are being pulled to repair. Wraith has arrived. Zones away the Banshees. Tries to, but alas, scan is going to be required. There's the scan. Oof. Bunker goes down, and ByuN, he's doing it. ByuN, he's making his way in. Again, ByuN, he's been looking very impressive as of late. He's been playing a lot of StarCraft Evolution. The boys are being pulled. Only 1 tank is sieged. Yeah, just 1 tank. Lay siege on the second tank. Nice target firing here on the Marines. And with that, yeah, Homeono, he has been broken. He has been broken. There is no anti-air, but... Oh, yeah, there is no anti-air. But every SCV is going to be going down. And 14 SCV kills. Brutal damage. The Wraith has a lot of work to do. And that's going to be 17 workers going down. And ByuN, he's not done. He's still rallying across the map. Trickling in with a couple of units. Oh! ByuN is pushing forward. And unfortunately, Homeono, he has none of his own tanks. There's just pure bio, pure stim Marines, and of course, boys. Once again, the boys are being pulled. Nice pullback there by ByuN. Pulls away. Getting within range. Getting within range. Now we have a second Wraith here for Homeono. But alas, he's just lost far too much already. Yeah, trickling in. Throws away his medics. Medics go down. Oof. Banshee is going to be sniped, but the CC's under fire. The CC so close to falling, forced to lift. ByuN edging his way closer. Again, the anti is quite limited here, so the Wraiths, they have potential. Ooh, Wraith goes down. 1 Wraith falls. Boys are being pulled. The Wraiths will clean this up. But at a cost. At a cost, of course. As there we go. None of these tanks do shoot up. Wraiths will focus on the tanks one after the other. They can pick up the Marines. But alas, Homeono is stuck on 1 base. Behind this, 3rd TC's on the way. ByuN just embracing mech back at home, going into Mass Factory, into Hellion Cyclone. ByuN moving in. And Homeono, again, contained on 1 base. He's got a 3rd TC. He's not going to be able to make use of that. Cyclone has arrived. GG gets called, and ByuN takes game number 1. Whew. GG. ByuN does take a lead in the series. Very, very impressive play there. But a lot of that, for those that are curious, is because of the failed aggression out of Homeono. Remember, he went for a stim timing, he dove in, he lost all of his bio, and he lost momentum. It was right after that failed push from Homeono that ByuN counterattacked. Like, that's where the momentum started in favor of ByuN, is after the failed aggression. That's why Homeono was having such a hard time defending early on against the push, against the move out of ByuN. GG. GG, well played with that. ByuN does take a lead in the series, and we'll see if he can claim the entire series here. Coming into this, I do think these 2 players are pretty well matched. I would not be surprised if it goes to the ace match. I feel like game 1, not too indicative of Homeono's skill in StarCraft Evolution. Again, he just went into a rush failed, and then struggled from there, which is kind of what we expect here when it comes to StarCraft. If you're committed to an all-in or committed to a timing, if it fails, that's where things start to struggle. You can start to struggle as a player to recover. Now we're getting ready for the second game. Oh boy. Let's see what map is going to be chosen. But the pressure is now on Hon Mono. After this series, we'll go over the brackets. We'll go over the bracket. It's a pretty large bracket, a lot of sign-ups, a lot of competitors. We have a full, almost full round of 32. And it looks like we have our second map. We're going to be loading into Amygdala. We have our top players as well, our best players in each race. If you know StarCraft Evolution, you should know who those 3 players are. Best Zerg, best Protoss, and best Terran player are here. And I'm looking forward to seeing more of our Terran, just because, if you remember, he didn't really have the best showing in the previous SCL. In the StarCraft Evolution League number 8, this was 2 weeks ago, Spirit did struggle. Spirit, he got knocked out early on. I did miss out on those matches. Most people did. But we'll get to that. As spawning in the top right-hand corner of Amygdala, we have our red Terran player from South Korea, representing Team Hyper 1. Down in the series, we'll see if he can bounce back. It is Hon Mono. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the Brood War Terran player, the blue Terran himself. It is ByuN. We go. And once again, 2 SCVs. 2 SCVs are moving out. This time, though, they're not moving out to harass. This time, it's going to be Proxy 2 racks. So Hon Mono, he's now rocking SC2 Terran. We have ByuN with Brood War Terran instead. And Hon Mono opens up with a rush. The Raxes are going to be on the way. And we'll see if ByuN can confirm what exactly is going on. For now, CC first. CC first out of ByuN. Raxes have been placed. Gases are being taken. Both gases even. Should be 2 racks Reaper here out of Hon Mono. As you can imagine, Reapers are a very mobile unit here compared to what Brood War has early on. ByuN, to defend, he's going to have to pull the boys. He's going to have to build up his Marines, pull the boys, and hope he can surround, hope he can buy time for additional bio production. It's not going to be an easy hold here for ByuN. Sorry, just opening the door. But it's not going to be an easy hold. Here we go. Reapers are on the way. ByuN, he is scouting. He's checking the third location. And it looks like he will... he will come across the proxy. Whew, he knows. Okay, now he has the foresight of being aware of the build, of the rush. And back at home, he has to be ready here. He has to hook some SCVs to pull them to protect that first Marine. It's not going to be easy here. Going for his second racks. Building up his bio army. Reapers are on the way. Oh, and Hon Mono is going for 1 base all in. Proxy 2 racks can be a macro build where you do expand behind it, but no, Hon Mono, he's doubling down. He's going for the proxy factory. One way or another, the game is going to end. It's going to be a short one. Either he breaks ByuN or he dies trying. Reapers, they dive into the main base. Bunkers on the way. Boys are being pulled. Oh, the first Marine takes a lot of hits, takes a lot of damage, and the Marine is going to go down. Yeah, ByuN here extends with his Marine. And now ByuN is in a bit of trouble. The bunker will complete as the initial SCV goes down. He gets 1, he gets 2 SCV kills so far. Here comes a Marine. He has to save it. He has to get into that bunker. Oh! So far, does protect the Marine, but now we have 3 Reapers, and this may just be getting out of hand. Yeah, 4 SCV kills. Oh, getting up to 5. And with only 1 Marine, I mean, sure, we're building up to 3. Vultures on the way. ByuN trying to make a stand. He's still up in SCVs, bear that in mind. 22 to 20. So on the high ground. So far, so good. ByuN, he's holding. He gets the Vulture out. Vulture has arrived. Again, it wasn't an easy hold here. Did lose a lot of workers in the process, but remember, he's on 2 CCs. And Hon Mono is 1 base all in. Hon Mono, he needs more damage. Bunker completes. ByuN, he has the high ground. Hon Mono, he's going proxy 2-1-1. Tank production. Proxy tank. Let's go. Tanks are on the way. Ooh, Vulture takes a lot of damage. Have to be careful. Now the problem here is that ByuN doesn't know. He doesn't know how committed this is. He shouldn't be moving down like this. We'll lose 1 Vulture already. Vulture goes down, spots the Marines. Now he's got a better idea. Now he sees that Homono is committing. Oh, and 2 more Marines going to be going down. Every Marine goes down. And the tank is revealed, and Bratoki's lost far too much. And again, Bratoki doesn't have to try to save the expansion. Now he realizes. Now he knows. Oh, I should have been trying to save that low ground. The boys are being pulled. Brato getting desperate. Going for the tank. He will get us around. Tank is going to fall, but again, at a cost. 6 more CV kills. Gets another Vulture. Another Vulture gets up. Bratoki holds on. Ooh, takes down another Reaper. Nice pickoff. Still 1 more tank. Still 1 more tank on the way. Boys being pulled once again. SVs are so low from earlier. A lot of SVs are falling. Brato going down to 16 SCVs. Oh, but he will get the tank. Oh. Ah, it's way too soon. No, it's way too soon. Not like this. Okay, Bratoki backs off, but he lost 12 SCVs in that final defense. He lost so many workers. And with that, now he has got a worse economy. He's trying to saturate himself. Trying to build. Oh no! Another Vulture goes down. Again, Bratoki has been quite wasteful when it comes to his defense, losing a lot of units early on. And that builds up. It builds up to this. The Homono, he's done it. GG gets caught. Bratoki lost far too much in the defense. And Homono, he will tie up the series 1-1. Whew. GG. GG, well played. Again, it did seem like Bratok, it took him a little bit too long to realize it was a 1-base all-in. That's why he was fighting so hard to save that natural, when really he didn't need to. He didn't need to fight so hard to save that low ground expansion, whereas otherwise he could have lifted, could have given it up, could have bought more time, preserved his units, build up his Vulture count, and started working towards those spider mines, which he got to towards the end, but by then, too late. By then, too little too late. GG. GG, well played. Homono does bounce back, and now we're going to the ace match. One way or another, the game is about to end. Oh, sorry, one way or another, the series ends here and now with this next game, with the ace match. Here we go. Here we go. Ooh. And again, hope you've all been enjoying yourselves. Hope you've all been having a great time here tonight, as we get to indulge in some more StarCraft Evolution. Again, the first KungFu Cup StarCraft Evolution event. The first of many. As I mentioned before, the plan currently is to alternate. So this week we have StarCraft Evolution. Next week should be Warcraft 3 Evolution. Here's the plan. I look forward to it, as it's been a while since we've casted Warcraft 3 Evolution. It's been like a month. It's been like a month or so. It's been too long, man. Too long. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. So we're just getting our final map ready. Gonna be loading into Frostline. Gonna be loading into Frostline. Another one of our... Actually, hold on. I didn't have a look at the map pool. I just assumed it was the standard SC Evo map pool. I don't know if that's the case. I'll be... Yo, Paradox? It's been too long. Paradox is in the map pool. It's been like 6 months? No, maybe like 4? Like 3 to 4, like 4 months since Paradox has been in the map pool? That's crazy. And they've got new Eyes of Siren. Yo, whoever made the map pool for today's tournament, they're animals and I love them. That's crazy. That's crazy. New Isles of Siren Paradox and Monty Hall all in the map pool. Mate, we'll get into it. For now, though, we're jumping into game number 3, the ace match, and spawning in the top right-hand corner of Frostline, we have the South Korean Terran player, the Red Terran, representing Team Hyper 1. It is Hon Mono. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the blue Terran player. It is Bratok. Here we go. Whew. We have our TVT and Bratok. It's time to counter proxy. Let's go. It's time to go for the same build. It's going to be proxy 2 racks Reaper here out of Bratok. Hon Mono here in his main base, racks first. Remember, last time we saw Bratok try to defend with CC first. This is going to be racks first instead. So we should be seeing a bit of a stronger defense here by Hon Mono, getting into that earlier racks and building up towards earlier Marines. Reapers are on the way. Now, I don't expect Bratok to be as all-in. I don't expect him to proxy Factory and proxy Starport, but at least 2x Reaper into a follow-up into the expansion. Meanwhile, Hon Mono going for his own proxy. Okay, we're clowning it up. Factory is already in production. The first Marine has already popped out. Again, this is already going to be a stronger defense by Hon Mono. And he's going for a proxy Factory across the map. So double Factory opener, one at home, one across the map instead. And this is going to be looking like a more difficult execution of the aggression here from Bratok. Dips in, and he confirms the Marine's already out. Does go for the Marine. Bunker's on the way. Ooh, and already the first Reaper goes down. Ay, ay, ay. Again, you can see the difference here in the defense just because of the earlier racks. Like, the earlier racks just, it adds just so much to the defense here of Hon Mono. Now he's on 2 Marines. The Vultures are on the way. And are we going to float into the main? No shot. Is he floating? Okay. I was concerned for a moment. But Vulture's in production. Bratok, he's already transitioning out of the proxy. He already recognizes he cannot break Hon Mono. It's too late. And Bratok's in a rough position here. He's floating back home. He's floating back. Vultures are amassing. A bit of a supply block. Yeah, supply block here for Hon Mono. As he's going to be delayed. Again, deeper delayed because of the bunker. The scout does confirm ion thrusters in production. That's already very suspect here. Something is wrong. And the Rex is going to confirm no CC, no command center. Bratok back at home. Still working on his add-ons. Reapers move out. And Vultures moving in. And they're here to knock down that wall. Oh, they shut down the building SEV. They're going for the depot. Bearing in mind, iron thrusters, that is the speed upgrade for the Vultures. And they're breaking through. Cyclone's on the way. Cyclone will help, will support. But alas, this depot is not going to finish. It's not going to finish. No. So many SEV kills. Not like this. Oh my god. Yeah, depot goes down, and this may just be game. The Cyclone is going to take far too long to actually produce. There's already 5 Vultures in the main base. 5 Vultures in the main. Mineral line is forfeits. Spider mines are not going to be necessary here. There's a cancel. The first Cyclone has arrived. It's time to focus on that Cyclone. Oh, does dive in. Cyclone takes down 1. Oh, nice round on the second. Takes down 2 Vultures, but GG gets full. That is critical damage, and Hon Mono will take the series 2-1, eliminating Bratok from the tournament. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Hon Mono, he will claim the series. Again, unfortunately for Bratok, he tried to cheese out Hon Mono, but Hon Mono, he's not really an economic player. He's not an economic player. He's not really too greedy when it comes to his builds. He's more aggressive than anything, and because of that, it was basically a build order win, where Bratok went proxy 2 Rax Reaper, and Hon Mono, he blindly opened up double gas Rax Factory into a proxy factory across the map. So yeah, Hon Mono, he just, it was, again, I almost want to say build order win. I'm pretty sure that is the case there. With that Hon Mono, he was just able to snowball out of control. Bratok, the proxy 2 Rax Reaper, just didn't really accomplish anything with that. GG. GG, well played. Hon Mono, he will claim the series, and now we are getting into the bracket itself. Let's catch up. Let's catch up in the bracket. Let's figure out where we are and where we are headed. Okay, massive bracket. From the top, we have ByuN. ByuN is waiting for the winner of Gilliman and Muel. ByuN, he has been playing more StarCraft Evolution as of late. I will still say that ByuN is very inexperienced. ByuN is a big name when it comes to StarCraft 2, but in StarCraft Evolution, I do favor players like SKillous, like Spirit, like Classic, like Dark. I do favor a lot of the players in this bracket over ByuN. But I wish ByuN the best, and we spoke to ByuN last time in StarCraft Evolution, and he said that he was playing this for fun. Like he's not taking it too seriously, he's just playing it for fun, just another way to enjoy StarCraft. So best of luck to ByuN. I look forward to seeing more of his games in the upcoming matches. Meanwhile, scrolling down, we have Spirit. Spirit, he's in the first round. Oh, I should say, before glossing over, Skillous. Skillous gets a walkover in the first round. Skillous is up against Nolzakat. I'm not too familiar with them. Not too familiar with that opponent, but best of luck. Skillous, I do rate him very highly. I think I would say that Skillous is the second best Protoss player in the bracket. Yeah, I would say Skillous is one of the best Protoss players in the bracket here. I would say number two only to Classic. We'll get to Classic in StarCraft Evolution. Scrolling down, Spirit, he's in the first round. Oh, Skillous. he's gonna walk over his way to the finals, mate. Oh my god. Skillous gets another walkover in the next round. GG, well played. Scrolling down, Spirit, I would say Spirit is the best Terran player in the bracket. I would very easily rate him over ByuN. I would even rate him over Mono and the other Terran players as well. Spirit, he is a beast in StarCraft Evolution. He is a multi-time champion. He was the runner-up in StarCraft Evolution 4 championship as well, second only to Dark. Spirit is an animal, but that is why it was surprising to see Spirit go down early on in the round of 16 last week, sorry, 2 weeks ago in StarCraft Evolution League. Spirit, he went down to Wayne. I didn't see those matches. I do have the replays, so I actually want to get around to casting those replays at some point. But yes, Spirit, he actually did go down to Wayne, and that was a big upset. No one was casting. Unless you saw the replays yourself. No one is really aware of what happened in that series, but that was a crazy upset, and I mean, it meant that Spirit had a really short performance, and we weren't really able to showcase him in last StarCraft Evolution. So I'm happy to see more of him. That's why also we're in this portion of the bracket. Spirit's in the first round. Winner of that series goes up against Mono. And again, Spirit, he's favored to make a deep run in this tournament. Scrolling down, we have F91. F91, of course, he is one of the duo for SC Boy. So F91's up against Zerg when it goes up against a Middle VK in the next round. Scrolling down a little bit further here, who else do we have in the bracket? We have Dark. Dark, I would say, is the best Zerg player in StarCraft Evolution. He's the strongest Zerg. He's very aggressive. He's very all-in. So expect short games when featuring Dark. Dark waiting for the winner of Firefly and Ateshi. Scrolling down a little bit further here, we have Rebellion. Rebellion, he just took down SC Boy 2-1. Intense back and forth. Shout out to SC Boy for taking a map over Rebellion. Not easy. Rebellion, another top Protoss player in the bracket, waiting for the winner of Groe as well as his Paradise. So that's Paradise. His is the name of the team. Paradise is the name of the player. So Rebellion waiting for the winner of Paradise and Groe Humor. Scrolling down, we have Classic. Classic takes down Pretty Fly. Classic up against Prome. Prome 2-0'd Luna C. There's a lot of Protoss down here. Classic, Prome, Luna C, Michnek, Mana, all Protoss. So we have pure PvPs in the lower half of the bracket. I do favor Classic coming into that, but Mana is no one to take lightly. So Classic is also going to be a big threat, and we'll see how well Classic can perform. So Classic, Mana. We'll see how well Mana can perform as Mana. He's also a threat here to these players. Looking forward to seeing some Mana action versus either Classic or Prome. So Mana, he's already taken down Michnek 2-0. Big win there for Mana. Waiting for the winner of Classic and Prome. So we have our bracket. More importantly, we have our map pool. Now, we do have a map pool for StarCraft Evolution events for the SCL, but this is not a part of the StarCraft Evolution League. This is its own independent tournament. As a result, they have their own unique map pool. When it comes to the map pool here for this tournament, very important to point out, we have some standard SC2 ladder maps. We have Amygdala, Ultralove, Frostline, and Leylines. That's 4 SC2 ladder maps, and we have the Brood War maps. We have Neo Isles of Siren, that is an island map. We have Paradox, that's another island map, and we have Monty Hall, that's a pseudo island map. We then have Sylphid, which is a 3-player spawn map, and Return of the King, which I have never casted on. So I don't know who chose this map pool, but it is a crazy map pool. It's a crazy map pool. Typically, you have one or the other, as in typically you have either Neo Isles of Siren or Paradox. You don't typically have both in the map pool at the same time. Again, those are 2 4-player island maps. Oh, sorry. Neo Isles of Siren is a 4-player island map. Paradox is a 2-player island map. So I'm a little bit surprised to see both of them in the map pool alongside Monty Hall as well. That is crazy. So there's potentially a series out there where we feature Neo Isles of Siren and Paradox as well in the same series. I hope that happens. I'm looking forward to it. But I've never cast on Return of the King. That's not been featured in StarCraft Evolution League, so I'm curious how that map plays out and how that map is, what that map even looks like. So I'm really curious to see. Oh. So we are getting ready here. So this is going to be the map sheet for the events. Otherwise, we are waiting for Spirit and his opponent to wrap up their series. That is the goal. So we do have some downtime currently. And most likely we'll be focusing on the upper portion of the bracket, you know, seeing a rematch. I mean, SKillous and ByuN, they played each other very often, especially in last events or last StarCraft Evolution League. I think SKillous beat ByuN twice in that tournament, so looking forward to that rematch once again. Can't BS a BSer. Exactly. You wanna get down and dirty against Homeowner. Homeowner, he's already dirty, Pat. He's already dirty. He's already filthy. Oh my god. He's an animal. But yeah, the bracket is slowly progressing, and I guess for the time being we do have, again, some downtime, so we're most likely going to be going on a short break. When we return, we will have our next series. We'll have most likely Homeowner versus Spirit. That's kind of what we're hoping for. That's what we're waiting on. Some of the other matches that are about to begin is MinnoVK. MinnoVK is being covered currently. Who is he up against? Oh, F91. Oh, makes sense. So the Chinese stream, they're following F91 into a series versus MinnoVK. That'll be a lot of fun, I'm sure. Oh, and Spirit, he's being casted by Indy. Okay. Indy's in that series. Ooh, did I miss them? Yeah, I may have just missed them. Sorry, I didn't notice. Yeah, it's my bad. I didn't realize that that Indy was covering them. But Spirit is up against a Protoss player. Okay, Shaxing. If they have an ace match, I'll be sure to jump on that. For now, though, we're going to be going on a break. We're going to go on a short break here, and when we return, we'll have our next series. Again, currently Spirit, he's down in the series, but he's playing on Paradox, and we have Shaxing rushing carrier. This is such a good game. Feels bad, man. Again, we missed game 2 between Spirit and Shaxing. That's my bad. I didn't realize that they were available. So, going to go on a short break. When we come back, we'll have some more StarCraft. See you soon. See you soon. And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the KungFu Cup StarCraft Evolution Edition number 3. We have some updates here very quickly. We had a crazy upset. Spirit, he is out of the tournament. I didn't get to see game 1, and we barely missed out on joining the lobby for game 2. I do apologize for that. But what happened, we spoke earlier about the craziness that was the fact that there were multiple island maps in the map pool. Paradox was an island map, and Spirit got carrier rushed. It was crazy, but we saw a 2-base carrier all in. Essentially, it did overwhelm Spirit and did knock him out of the tournament, and as a result we have a TVP here in the round of 16. And spawning in the bottom hand corner of ley lines, we have our South Korean Terran player, the Red Terran representing Team Hyper 1. It is Hon Mono. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have the South Korean Protoss player, the Brutal Protoss. It is Shaxing. Going for cheese. Let's go. If you're in the chat, predictions are now open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. I do favor Homono coming into this, but I also favored Spirit, and if Spirit can get cheese the hell out, then Homono could as well. As Shaxing, he is going for a proxy to gate. Here we go. Again, Shaxing, he cheesed the hell out of Spirit. Now Homono has the advantage of watching those games. Indy, shout out to Indy. He's the Polish caster, he's the Polish streamer. Indy was covering those matches, and Homono was able to observe, or was able to watch the stream, of course, and recognize what the Protoss is up to, in a sense. Meanwhile, double gas opener out of Homono, very safe opener here by a Terran player, going racks into factory on one base. But alas, Homono, he has yet to scout, he has yet to figure out what exactly is going on, as we're opening up with our initial proxy Zealot into proxy Dragoon. As the Cyber Core is on the way, gases are being taken, it's going to be a one base all in. Likewise, pylon is done. We can throw down either a gateway here or even a proxy shield battery. Yep, shield batteries are going for the shield battery rush. Let's go. Get spotted. Is going to be spotted. Probe is going to be targeted down. Gets a second shield battery. Zealots are diving in. Power walking forward. Let's go. Zealots rush past the initial Reaper. Going for the wall. Going for the SCVs. Oh. Trying to disrupt that wall. The first SCV goes down. Reaper pulls back. Can we delay that bunker a little bit further here? As, oh my god. As that SCV takes a lot of hits, so we go, second SCV goes down. eBay is denied. But barely the bunker will complete. We get the master pair as well. The bunker will finish and will hold. Whew. Bunker does hold. Behind this, going into one base Cyclone. We have Macfield accelerators on the way. Cyclone's going to be amazing here against initial gateway units. Dragoon production has begun alongside Dragoon range. Dragoon range is on the way. Homono going for a counterattack, trying to get some kind of counter damage. We can see Shaxing is expanding. Okay, he's containing his opponent. He's not going all in. And Homono, he's about to confirm, potentially. So he makes his way across the map. Into the main. Into the main base. And we'll deny some mining time. Boys are being pulled. At the same time, main army tries to go off the ramp, but alas, the bunker is solid. And Homono is pulling this off. Gets 2 probe kills so far. Doesn't get surrounded, not yet. Gets another probe. Has to be careful. Yeah, doesn't go fully behind the mineral line. Gets a 4th probe kill. 4 workers go down. As Homono, he doesn't quite get eyes on the Nexus, but he's going for the CC, so he's expanding. CC on the high ground, Dragoon is revealed, Reaper is going to be chased away, getting 5 workers. Nice little combo. With the help of the shield batteries, the Dragoon should be okay. Dragoon does survive. And right now, again, it's all about buying time. It's all about containing Homono on one base, all about delaying that expansion, and getting away with a greater economy. So far, so good. Voids are being pulled. And with that, they do get their lock-ons. First Cyclone is gonna fall. Massive Eagle trading a Cyclone for a Dragoon. Second Cyclone getting targeted down. Is gonna be targeted. We do end up trading. Both Dragoons fall. Master pair. One Cyclone gets the hell out of there. It does pull away. Oh! Has to get out. No! Oh, slicks around a little bit too soon. And Cyclone overextends. But alas, in the end, Homeowner, he breaks out. He breaks out. Cleans up the final Dragoon. You can go for the shield batteries, and Shaxing, he pulls back. He races back home, he does retreat, and Homono holds. Homono, he holds on, he does find the proxy. Going for the pylon, now Homono, he can expand, and we can get into our game. We can have a back and forth. These lock-ons are going to be spent here on the Dragoon. And Shaxing, what do we have to defend back at home? We have 2 shield batteries, we have additional gateways on the way. Stargate, double Stargate, carrier rush, he's doing it again. This is how he beats Spirit. Not quite the same builds, but we got there in the end. And Shaxing is rushing into carrier. Now, thankfully, we have mass Cyclone on the way. We have a second factory and Cyclone production continues, so there is going to be some anti-air. Oh, I spoke too soon, though, because one Cyclone is going to fall. Trades 1-to-1. Not a bad trade here for Shaxing. Again, Cyclone takes a lot of hits, takes a lot of damage. And Homeowner, he's denied the scout. That's also most important here. Homeowner, he doesn't see what's going on. He's going to have to scan. And there it is. Scan into the main. Gets eyes on the tech. Gets eyes on the carrier. Sees +1 air attack being researched. Double Stargate. Fleet beacon. Carrier production soon to begin. And we'll see if Homeowner can get a better response. Now, against this Spirit, he tried to go mass Marine. And he tried to focus on the interceptors. But he was overwhelmed. So Spirit was overwhelmed by the mass carrier. And Shaxing snowballed out of control. Here, of course, Homeowner, he's playing mech, so he's going to have mass Cyclone instead. We'll see how that compares. I want to say that the Cyclones, if they can get a lock-on on these carriers early on, that they can focus them down, but that's a big if. That's only if they can get close enough to lock on. On top of that, Homeowner, he's at least aware a lot earlier on, and he could try to break Shaxing before he can hit critical mass. The first 2 carriers are on the way, but they're not ready yet. And here comes Homeowner. Homeowner, he's pushing, he's moving out. That's still a lot of Dragoons, though. A lot of Dragoons, 2 shield batteries. I don't know if Shaxing can be broken. Homeowner, he's going to try. He does move out. He does attempt to break this position. Again, the Dragoons, they hold their own. 1 Dragoon falls. DPS here, quite high here for those Cyclones. Gets the second Dragoon, not bad. Takes down the second Dragoon, going for the proxy, sorry, going for the Atrocious Pylon. Pylon's under fire. Oh my god. Cyclones, they do kite back. They do barely survive. The first carrier has arrived. But Homeowner, he just keeps rallying out. Yeah, he does keep rallying. And does he have enough? So many Cyclones, they're so low. Takes down the pylon, depowers the shield batteries. Oh, going for the dive. He does get within range. Up, he gets a lock-on, takes out 1. Whew. Does catch a carrier. There's 1 carrier left. And Homeowner, I think he's done it. He has done it. Gets a lock-on, takes down the final carrier. Whew. Going for the Artosis Pylon once again. Boys are being pulled. Cyclones, they're going to be surrounded. They're going to be locked down. And Shaxing, he will survive this. He will hold, but the damage has been done. He has no production. He only has 2 more carriers on the way, and Homeowner is still rallying across the map with even more Cyclones. He's done it. Homeowner, he has done it. Again, just crippling the economy, ensuring that Shaxing cannot afford anything else. As they're building up even more Cyclones. Homeowner, he's here to avenge Spirit. He's here to do it for his Terran boy. Ay, ay, ay. As the 2 Cyclones of the main base are going to be falling, but again, we have plenty more Cyclones that came from. We have how many? We have 9. 9 Cyclones for Homeowner. Focus down the expansion. Natural goes down. Homeowner is scanning for ninja bases. Make sure there's nothing hidden. There's nothing crazy going on. And I was going after the kill. He's going for the kill. And there's just no support for those carriers. There's that 1 shield battery, but it's not enough. It's not enough. Nowhere close. And 1 carrier left. Yeah, just 1 carrier. Gets a lock-on. Lock-on's all he needs. Takes down the final carrier. GG gets called, and Homeowner will take game number 1. Whew. GG. GG. Well played. Hold on, I have to message Homeowner. But GG, well played. Homeowner does take a lead in the series, and now we're getting ready for game number 2. Again, Shaxing with a very unorthodox style, I will say. Very off-tempo here, going initially proxy 2-gate into 2-base carrier. I can definitely see that if a Terran player is more passive, if they are less aggressive, of course, if they don't scout, if they don't realize what's going on, then Shaxing, you can see that he could get away with that, as if he can build up to 4, up to 6 carriers, he can snowball out of control. Thankfully, again, Homono, he did see Shaxing do something very similar to Spirit on Paradox, and he was a lot more attentive when it came to scouting, when it came to that scan, when it came to punishing the 2-base carrier. So the punish was real. And now we're getting ready for game number 2. Game 2 is going to be on Frostline, another SE2 map. Someone's asking, is ByuN's game going to be casted? We might cover ByuN's game. It depends. It depends if things line up. Basically, we're going to be focusing on Homono versus Shaxing, of course. That leads into the winner of F91 and Minnow VK. If SKillous versus ByuN is available, then we might switch over into that series. That's only if ByuN advances on past the round of 16. Again, ByuN, he is playing StarCraft Evolution more for fun. He isn't necessarily focusing on on practicing and grinding in StarCraft Evolution, so he's a little bit less favored in that kind of scenario, in this kind of game mode. But he's still a lot of fun to cast, of course, and hopefully we can catch him. Hopefully, I'd love to cast some ByuN. Love to cover some ByuN, but we'll see. So far, we are now getting into Frostline. And we'll see if Shaxing can bounce back or if Homono can clean this up. This morning, in the top right-hand corner of Frostline, we have our South Korean Terran player, the Red Terran, leading the series 1-0. Representing Team Hyper 1 from South Korea, it is Homono. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the SC2 Protoss player, the StarCraft 2 Protoss from South Korea as well, down in the series. We'll see if he can bounce back as he is being proxy 3-raxed. It is Shaxing. Here we go. As we have 1, 2, and 3 SCVs moving out. It is going to be proxy 3-rax here out of Homono. Homono, no gas, is back at home. We are going proxy 3-rax mass marine. This is of course a Brood War Terran, and Marines, they do hit a little bit different here. So Marines are going to be amassing, and it's going to be on Shaxing to scout, to respond, and to react to what's happening. Now the turns have tabled. Shaxing cheesed in game 1. Now he's being cheesed in game 2. So Homono, he is here to shut him down. Again, it's going to be on Shaxing to probe scout, to get a read on what's happening, to either probe scout across the map or at least scout the nearby third locations for a proxy. But for the time being, Shaxing, he is waiting for his initial gateway to finish up before any attempt at scout. Oh, gate expand. So gate expand here. Shaxing cutting corners. Going to be going for the expansion before the Cyber Core. So greedy opener here by Shaxing. Already a good start for Homono. And again, Shaxing, he did not probe scout, and he has yet to really get a read on what's going on. Okay, now he's going for the second pylon, right? Yeah, second pylon scout across the map. And this is going to be quite late here. It's going to be quite late for Shaxing, as the Marines, they're already building up, and they've already been revealed. Here we go. Bunkers on the high ground. The ByuN army has arrived. He's supply blocked. Oh no, he is supply blocked. Last waiting for the second pylon. Boys are being pulled. Delay on the Zealot. Yeah, Zealot is delayed. And the ByuN army does push forward. We're going for that shield battery. Shield battery is going to be targeted down. Zealot's being chronoed as we speak. Shield battery does pull. Now going for the pylon. Boys are being pulled, throwing down additional pylons. Bunkers are now complete, though. With the completion of that bunker, I mean, I don't see this being broken. The bunker does so much. Zealot was targeted down. Remember, no shield battery. Did cancel the Nexus, but the bunkers are up. All 3 bunkers are up and running. We even get a repair as well. And this should just be too much. This should be game. That's 12 probe kills. Sure, there's 1 Zealot on the way, but what's the Zealot going to do here? There's just nothing it can do. Shaxing down to 11 workers. And again, it was just a late scout. It was also a greedy opener, a greedy initial start. Going Nexus before Cybercore. And he's being punished for that. The Stalker's on the way. The Stalker will help. Backup shield battery. But we have more reinforcements. We have more Marines. Oh, and they're pushing forward. He does spot that Stalker. He wants it. Oh. Goes back to the bunker. Takes down the Zealots. Does go back to the bunker. He's just targeting down the gateway. And it's just the one gate. It's just the one gateway here for Shaxing. That's always production. He's got one Stalker. One Stalker in a dream. Oh, as everything's being depowered. Shield battery not going to come into play. And GG gets called. Honmono here overwhelms. He will take the series 2-0. Honmono advances on to the quarterfinals. GG. Whew. GG, well played. As Honmono does take the series 2-0, advancing on to the next round to the quarterfinals, where Honmono is going to face off against MinnowVK in another TVP. Let's go. In another TVP. As we switch things over and catch up on the bracket. But again, well played there by Honmono. Game 1, he was kind of the reactor. He had to defend and respond to the cheese of Shaxing, and then the turns were tabled here in Game 2. Again, Shaxing was just really greedy. He was just really greedy. He went for a greedy opener. He didn't scout either, or he delayed his probe scout until that second pylon. So he was in the dark as to what was happening. He had no idea, and he got caught with his pants down. The pants were down, Bobby. The pants were down. GG, well played. And we have some updates here. We have some updates in the brackets. Here we go. ByuN takes down Well 2-0. ByuN is going to be up against SKillous in the next round in the quarterfinals. And again, we have Honmono versus MinnowVK in the quarterfinals as well. Now, typically, we would be following... typically, we would be following... hold on. We'd be following Honmono into MinnowVK, but SKillous versus ByuN looks like a very juicy series. Looks very juicy. It is going to be a rematch. It is going to be a rematch. For those that were here for StarCraft Evolution, you'll know that SKillous did defeat ByuN twice. I think he 2-0'd him twice in that tournament. I do favor SKillous quite heavily here over ByuN. SKillous is a lot more... he's a lot more practiced in StarCraft Evolution, but now ByuN is a little bit more experienced, right? ByuN, he was able to play his first tournament in StarCraft Evolution. That was 2 weeks ago. So now ByuN, he has a better grasp on what he's stepping into, and where he takes us, and what the mod and what the matchups entail. So ByuN, he will have a little bit more knowledge coming into this, and we'll see. We'll see how he compares in the rematch against SKillous. Here we go. Also, we do have that rematch. Meanwhile, when it comes to the rest of the series here, we do have walkover. Oh, that's a big deal, actually. Dark was not available. Dark, he is the best Zerg player, and fun fact, the only Zerg, by the way. There's no Shin, there's no 3-point, there's no Wayne, there's no Young Yakov. Dark was the only notable Zerg player in the tournament, and the best Zerg player in StarCraft Evolution. He's not here. So, do apologize when it comes to this broadcast. If you wanted to see some Zerg gameplay, there's no Zerg. There is no Zerg player left in the tournament. It's just purely Terran and Protoss. It's just like SC2. What do you know, Baffy? It's just like StarCraft 2. So purely Terran and Protoss. So TVPs is going to be what we're seeing. I say TVPs, looking here at the lower half of the bracket, because there's no Dark, it's pure Protoss. Firefly, Rebellion, Classic, Mana, pure Protoss. I'm not familiar with Paradise. I don't know what race Paradise is, but I do favor all the others here when it comes to all the other competitors. Classic takes down Prome 2-1. Shout out to Prome for taking a map off of Classic. Very impressive. But we're going to find out who has the best PvP down there. Who has the best PvP amongst all those Protoss players. It's yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see. Best of luck. Best of luck. As we can try to tidy this. Yeah, there we go. We can tidy this up a little bit as we are getting into our quarterfinals. Not even old Jakob is playing. True. Feels bad, man. Not even old Jakob. Oh no. He's too old for StarCraft Evolution. Ay, ay, ay. But yeah, so no more Zergs here, just purely Terran and Protoss. As we're getting to our next game, we're going to be loading into ley lines. Be loading in. Videos are now done. When it comes to our setup here, oh my god, everyone's joining. Don't blame them. And here we go. Here we go. ByuN, he has chosen Brood War first. Okay. Brood War first here. Add a ByuN. So we're jumping into our fresh best of 3. And spawning in the top right-hand corner of ley lines, we have our South Korean Terran player, the Red Terran representing Shopify. It is ByuN. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the Blue Protoss player representing Team Liquid. It is SKillous. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Coming into this, I do favor SKillous, but what I will say is that ByuN, he has a little bit more experience this time with the mod. He has a little bit more insight into the interactions between the races. So I want to believe that this time it is going to be a more competitive matchup between SKillous and ByuN. I want to believe that ByuN has something up his sleeve here, especially because he did choose to play Brood War Terran first. Double gas opener. ByuN, he's going for a delayed CC. He's going to be going for maybe even a 3-Rax opener into Academy, into Stim. Again, that is a popular build. It's a popular build, a popular way to open up in this matchup. We'll see. The alternative, this could be just Rax into Factory, into Vulture, into Mech versus Protoss. Mech versus Protoss is viable, is very much so a thing in StarCraft Evolution from the Brood War side of things, from Brood War Terran. So we'll see where ByuN takes this. Do we go for the Academy? Do we go for the Factory? There it is. Factory is on the way. Probe Scout will confirm the double gas opener, will confirm the faster Factory. Again, we can see here just a much faster Probe Scout out of SKillous. We did take note earlier how Shaxing did delay his Probe Scout. He was punished for it. Here, SKillous is on top of that scouting. SKillous is aware. Again, if you're in the chat, get your Gamba going while you can, as predictions are about to close. And we have our 2-gate opener out of SKillous. Meanwhile, no surprise here, that is a second Factory. So as we mentioned, Mech here against Protoss is viable when it comes to the Brood War side of things. We can go into a Vulture-based opener, into Goliath, into Tank. Like, there's a little different ways here to build into this. But Vultures are going to be the bread and butter, especially in the early game for ByuN. Machine Shop is on the way. This should be for initially Ion Thrusters. A little bit more micro potential. Otherwise, we could go into earlier Spider Mine production or early Spider Mine research. Yep, there it is. Okay, Spider Mine first. Probe Scout is denied. Now, are we crazy enough to throw down like a third Factory and go 1 base all in? I mean, this is already quite aggressive. This is quite aggressive here from ByuN. Okay, oh my god, getting into early tanks. Okay, I'm leaning more and more towards a 1 base all in now. Early tank production out of ByuN. Of course, remember, you have to research siege mode. But he's going 1 base double Factory tank production here. And SKillous, he opens up Robo. Very important here. Robo is the opener for SKillous. Very safe start from our Protoss player. What does a Robo opener mean? That means early Immortals. Early Immortal production from the side of SKillous. Vultures revealed. Ion Thrusters on the way. Interesting that ByuN, he's prioritizing Spider Mines and Ion Thrusters over Siege mode. But he's gearing up for the one base all in. Here we go. ByuN, he is committing. I just realized that the tanks are a little bit, like, slimmer. You can see they're a little bit less chunky. Because of the gap. I appreciate it. I appreciate the unique model. So we go. ByuN does break out across the map. Siege mode now being researched. Setting up a couple of Spider Mines to help protect his tanks. Yeah, Spider Mines have been lane. Observer first before the Immortal. Uh-oh. I mean, that will help against the Spider Mines, but the tanks have arrived. And the one base all in is here. And SKillous has to be so careful. There are just so many Spider Mines. Robo goes down. That means no Immortal. The Robo was exposed. And this might just be too much. Pylon's gonna go down. Yo, ByuN coming in with some builds this time. Coming in with the one base all in. Please out one of the Spider Mines. Please out one of the Vultures. More Vultures gonna be falling, but the tanks, they siege up. Yeah, the tanks are sieged. And ByuN, he should have too much. He breaks through that defensive line. Takes down the gateway. Back in the main base, we have 2 gates. We can warp in 2 units at a time. But remember, these are vanilla Stalkers. And without the defensive Immortal, I don't know how we defend. I don't know how we hold on. Boy's gonna have to be pulled. Massive tank boy's going off once again. And ByuN, he's doing it. He's getting his revenge. May have gone down to SKillous in the mid to late game. But no. Wait, we just hold in. just kill SKillous while you can. Haha. Before SKillous can get into any kind of semblance of a game or an economy. The Spider Mines! Oh, he covers the ramp! Oh my god, SKillous gonna be zoned out. Forced recall into his own main. Does recall in, but there's Spider Mines there. Oh my god, massive connections! Takes down the middle line, 22 probes going down. And ByuN, he has done it. He has done it at this point. Another big connection. And with that, ByuN, he starts off with a bang. With the siege mode, with the Spider Mines, with the one base all in. Technically, ByuN is now expanding, but one base all in. GG gets called. Whew, and ByuN takes game 1 against SKillous. GG. Whew. GG, well played. I would not be surprised if ByuN all-ins and cheeses every game, I'll be honest. I would not be surprised. But now it's up to SKillous. As a reminder, loser's pick. So SKillous, he will take a loss here in game 1. And with that, SKillous, it's up to him to pick. Does he stick with Brood War Protoss? Or sorry, does he stick with SC2 Protoss, or does he switch to Brood War? Does he switch to Brood War? Where are we headed? Game 2 is going to be on Frostline. Here we go. So we're getting into our next game. Again, it is going to be on Frostline, and we'll see. We'll see if SKillous goes for Brood War, if he goes for Protoss. Also, SE2. See what he goes for. And we have the answer. SKillous, he will pick Brood War. Okay, so SKillous, he's switching things up. He's going into Brood War Protoss instead. And I'm curious what SKillous is confident in. Now, I expect aggression out of ByuN. SKillous, though, he might play things a little bit safer here. As a reminder, he did go Observer first last game, not Immortal first. So he was lacking some extra units to defend. It was a rough hold there for SKillous. But now he doesn't have to worry about Vultures. True. But here we go, spawning in the top right-hand corner of Frostline, we have our South Korean Terran player, the Red Terran, representing Shopify, leading the series 1-0. It is ByuN. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, a player that just wants to get into the mid-game. he just wants to play some StarCraft. Down in the series, representing the Brood War Protoss race and Team Liquid, it is SKillous. Here we go. And we'll see if SKillous can recover. We'll see if he can bounce back. As this time, ByuN, I mean, his Rax is back at home. He's not going for any crazy proxy initially. Not in game 2. Not on Frostline. And when it comes to Brood War Protoss side of things, it's a little bit more one note. It doesn't feel like there's as much diversity. There are typically 2 builds you can go for, either Dragoon into Reaver or potentially open up charge lots. You can open up, I know Classic is very fond of opening up like 2-gate Zealots into early game aggression, into early charge, then to transition into Dragoons, into Storm. So there is a little bit of variety here, but for the most part we expect Dragoons and Reavers. That is what we expect, at least, from our Brood War Protoss player. Going Zealot first. Does go Zealot first, and now he might decide to rally the Zealot across the map, or he might cancel once he realizes that nothing crazy is going on. As ByuN does open up economically, single gas open out of ByuN, going for the faster CC on the low ground. Marine first. No SCV scout, no Reaper scout. So ByuN is being quite greedy, being very greedy here. Let's see if he does get away with it. SKillous likewise power walking across the map. Let's go. Does move out. I love the look of this Zealot, by the way. Every time. The confidence. Walking with purpose. It's beautiful. Of course, really long dreads. Very long dreads. SKillous does move out. Back at home, ByuN getting to his own 1-1-1. Zell will not be able to delay the CC. Arrives a little bit too late. We'll chip away at the initial SCV, but now there's a Marine, there's a Hellion. At least Zealot gets a Scout. Does confirm the 1-1-1 setup. But Dragoon does come in to reinforce. Will deny mining time. Oh. Gets a couple of shots off. Couple of shots off on the Vulture. Meanwhile, Robot back at home. And ByuN, he will eventually break out. The Dragoon takes a lot of hits, takes a lot of damage. Second Dragoon does arrive just in time to support. Picks up a couple of Marines, keeping the pressure up. Behind this, shuttles on the way. Should be getting into the bay. Ooh, late response here by SKillous. Takes a lot of hits, takes a lot of damage. Again, Dragoons are not the most mobile of units, so you have to be so fast to react and to pull away. Otherwise, you will get caught. So, following well. Oh! Going for the starport. Starport does, sorry, going for the medevac. Medevac does survive. Tank will siege, and SKillous backs up. SKillous, he backs up behind this, going for the Reaver. As we mentioned, Dragoon into Reaver is the go-to here in PvT. Honestly, in a lot of Protoss matchups. There we go, Reaver production has begun, and we should be working towards a shuttle speed to help out with that drop play. Meanwhile, as SKillous moves out with his drop, so does ByuN. ByuN going for a vanilla Marine drop. Remember, there's no stim. There is no stim. No upgrades on those Marines. But their goal here is economic damage. Now, SKillous, he does fully wall off at the natural. He's getting a third base, and he has some Dragoons ready in the main. So he's pretty well set up. Looking pretty solid. Reaver's out. Medevac does boost in. Dragoons that will zone. zone. They'll get a couple of shots in as well. Behind this, going for the Citadel. That should be for charge, potentially leading into Temple Archives as well, into Storm. Meanwhile, Liberator has arrived. Skills, he does react in time. Does react. Oh! Ooh. Doesn't lose any Dragoons. Nicely done. Again, Dragoons, they do have longer range than Stalkers, so they do handle that quite well, as long as they're in position. Remember, Dragoons, they are tankier, they do more damage individually than Stalkers, that is true, but they're less mobile. There's no blink. There's no blink. They are less mobile. Reaver drop coming in. Ooh, Spencer. Oh no! That's not worth it. Not worth it. Gets one SCV. I wasn't expecting both tanks in position, likewise the turret as well. And SKillous, he's in a rough place. He's in a rough place here. That was a big loss for SKillous. Losing the first Reaver. Again, the double tank out of ByuN. I mean, again, he's dealt with Reavers before now. He knows. He knows how powerful they can be. ByuN is holding his own. Catches the Observer. Keeping SKillous in the dark. We have a second Reaver, but now there's, going to be a higher Viking count. More ByuN, more Marines. Second Observer gets caught. Keen eyes there out of ByuN. Takes on both Observers. And now SKillous is in the dark. He does not see what's coming. ByuN, he unsieges, he moves out. Behind this, Stim is going to finish in a couple of seconds. Same with combat shields and +1. The upgrades are lined up. And ByuN pushes. It's going to be a tough hold here for SKillous, as he doesn't see it coming. Again, especially when it comes to Brutal Protoss, it is so important that you get eyes on move outs like this to get ready in time. And he will miss everything here. He does spot a stray Marine. He sees nothing in the northern attack path. SKillous trying to get a better angle. There's a scan. Here comes the Stim. SKillous is not ready for this. Yeah, he's not ready. He now responds with his army. The tanks, they siege. Charge, let's say dive in. Reaver shot going off. Ooh, takes down the tanks. He gets one, he gets two. He gets all three. Whew, takes down all three tanks. Massive connection with the Scarab shots. Scarab pops off. SKillous holds. Ooh, SKillous, he does hold on. Takes down the Viking. Viking goes down. Reaver's coming in. Getting ready with their shots. ByuN, he backs off. SKillous, he holds, he gains momentum. Did respond with everything. He's got both Observers of the main army. There we go, does split them up. Ooh, and because of that, he will miss the rotation. ByuN, he pivots away, dropping towards the south side. SKillous trying to move units in position to scout, and he will... Oh! No, he misses! He barely does miss. Does miss his drop. Remember, there's no recall. He has to turn back around. Scan takes down the Observer. So you get a Storm, a zoning Storm. Drop into the main. Zealots have been backing up. Oh, Reavers come in. And the Reavers, they will defend another Storm. Oh my god, Storm takes down the Medivacs. Very nice Storm. But at the same time, ByuN is pulling SKillous apart, pushing in towards the north side. High Templar rallies in, and SKillous, he just cannot keep up. Not like this. Better defense is fourth base. Dragoons, they defend the third. Whew. Clutch hold here by SKillous. Again, ByuN abusing the lack of mobility here that SKillous has. Even here, just dropping back and forth. Just dropping back and forth. Getting even more hero kills than SKillous, he's all in. SKillous at this point, he's all in. It's all or nothing. Drops that keep going. Third CC is going to be denied, but it's not about the third, it's about the natural. Can he break the natural base? That's a lot of bio. Without Storms and without Reaver shots, I don't think he can. It comes down to the Reavers. Oh. Shot goes off. SKillous is all or nothing. He has to break through. Does have that one Storm. Storm goes up. Storm mainly zones away. Reaver's now coming in. Oh, Scarab shots here on the single Marine. Boys are being pulled. We're running out of Scarabs though. Oof, yeah, we are running out. And ByuN, he's holding. ByuN, he holds. He shuts down the army, cleans up all the Dragoons. And ByuN, he will break through. And again, across the map, he forced the all-in. He killed 26 probes, 26 workers. SKillous, he has no economy. He will lose everything. I say he has no economy. Technically, he's up in workers. True. ByuN had to pull the boys to defend. So SKillous, he does have a higher worker count. SKillous is still in this. A lot of losses here for SKillous, but he is rebuilding, going for a Zealot run by. We're getting scrappy. Zealots, they hit the mineral line. Gets a Marauder, gets one, gets two. Takes down 2 Marauders, does get a couple of SCV kills, not bad. Denying mining time, getting 4 SCVs. All is adding up. SKillous is sharking around with those Reavers. SKillous is recovering. He's back, he's fully saturated. SKillous, he is recovering, but he's not out of the woods yet. He does spot the army, he does spot the move out. Shouts to the Observer. Likewise, ooh, deflects the Northern Drop. How good are the Scarab shots going to be? Oh no! It's gonna go down. Yeah, the Reavers do fall. Massive big off. Nice Storm. Storm does zone away. But alas, 0 Reavers left for SKillous. He lost everything there. Now trying to come in from behind. Bit of an awkward angle here from SKillous. Does catch reinforcements. Not bad. Nice EMP here on the High Templar. No Storms. And no Storms left. SKillous pulling back. And he will lose everything here. He will lose all those Dragoons. He gets pounced upon, losing everything. SKillous trying to hold on. Drop comes back in. Oof. Now the EMP on the High Templar. Once again, 0 Storms. And ByuN, he does it. He breaks through, gets into the mineral line. Another Storm! The High Templar! Once again, the High Templar goes down. Miscontrol there from SKillous. He'll bleed out the mineral line. ByuN, he's running out of steam a little bit here, but he does get 20 probe kills. And SKillous still struggling to reinforce. The army drops back into the main. Okay, making nothing but Zealots right now. Trying to hold on. And he's holding, but we have reinforcements. And likewise, ByuN, he does saturate his third. Third base is fully saturated. He has mules as well, so ByuN, he has a booming economy. Still rallying, and SKillous, he just needs time to recover, time to build up his high-tech units like High Templar, like Reavers. But after losing those first 2 Reavers, I mean, that was the backbone of his army. And he lost it. And with that, ByuN, he will take the series. He will take it. He takes down the expansion, takes down the 4th base, drop into the main. SKillous, he can't keep up, not anymore. It was impressive. Impressive play here by ByuN to go for the mass drop play, to barely pull SKillous apart. Nice Storm. Oh my god, oh, stands in the storm. Clem, calm down. Oh my god. ByuN does stand in the storms, which means he will lose this army. Oof. As Medevac barely does escape. SKillous, he's still on a 3-base setup. He technically has a 4th Nexus. But ByuN should have enough. He should, as long as he doesn't take any storms to the face. Like, true, like, these storms have been crazy. These storms have been impressive. Oh. Likewise, EMP on the Dragoons. Dragoons, they cannot fight this head on or without support. Storm coming in. Storm grazes the army. No major connection. And the Marauders, you'll see they just trade so well against these Dragoons. Without Zealots, the Dragoons, they just melt. They have no support. And no support whatsoever. I goes drop back in towards the fourth. Fourth goes down. Again, SKillous is just being pulled apart. Still low economy, still like a low economic game state, that is true. But ByuN has just been more efficient. He's just been so efficient here with these trades. SKillous was caught out far too much. God, the mass storm, Jesus. The storms. The storms are crazy. And with those storms, you can see the SKillous, he's barely surviving. Like, imagine these fights, and if SKillous had a fourth, right? If he had a fourth base mining, if he had a 4 base economy, like SKillous, he'd be even winning this game. ByuN taking all the storms to the face. The last SKillous is long distance mining. He never retook that fourth. Did lose it earlier. Like, these have been impressive fights here for SKillous, but ByuN, he floats over the main. The main base does float over. Getting another fresh mining base. SKillous catching reinforcements. Oh, the storm, the High Templar. The Templar! Oh no! Oh god, lands a couple storms. Big storms. Oh my god, the storms are crazy once again. He stands in the storms. Marauders, they still might be too much anyway, though. Again, SKillous trading as best he can, fighting as best he can. Impressive fights, impressive engagements, mainly storms, really. Ooh, as he does land another storm, not quite on the army. He's out the High Templar. Okay, expensive losses for SKillous. And GG gets called. He runs out of steam, he runs out of money, and ByuN, he will claim the series 2-0, taking down SKillous. GG. Whew. Oh my god. GG, well played. A very, very intense game there. Intense series by ByuN. Game 2 was what I wanted out of this. Game 2 was beautiful, was back and forth, very intense. SKillous was barely having a hard time keeping up with the speed of ByuN's drop play, and he was barely broken. Game 1 was over before it really began, right? Like, game 1 was ByuN just going for a 1 base all in, did break SKillous then and there, got a cheeky win in game 1. Game 2 was more back and forth, still very intense and still a lot of aggression. I'm bringing it back to I'm just remembering, I should say, the initial lost Reaver. Remember, it was a Reaver opener. Reaver went down immediately, killing 1 SCV, likewise catching more Reavers towards the center of the map as well. Like, there were some key moments where ByuN was able to catch some key pickoffs, some key snipes. Likewise, if you remember, ByuN multiple times was so keen and so good at sniping observers. That was a big change here from what we saw previously. ByuN, he was on top of every single observer, scanned, sniped every single one, so SKillous had a harder time keeping up with those rotations. That's why ByuN got out of hand, is that SKillous, he had less time to react and to respond to those drops, as otherwise he should see them coming well ahead of time, but he lost so many observers throughout the course of that game. GG. GG, well played. So ByuN, he was on top of that, on top of the denial of the vision, denial of scouting. And now we're getting into our next TVP. And we'll see where this takes us here. We're getting ready for the upper semifinals. And MiddleVK has been playing a lot of StarCraft Evolution as of late. A lot of the CIS players, MiddleVK, Bratok, Young Yakov, Wayne as well, and many others. It's been really cool to see the CIS region embrace StarCraft Evolution as much as they have. Has been really cool. Has been impressive. Just trying to catch up on what's going on. Let's go. As the upper semifinals is getting ready here. Beautiful. Let's go. Getting ready for the upper semis. Exclamation mark B. Exclamation mark B in the chat if you guys want to have a look back yourselves. Ooh, okay, so this bracket is not going the way that we expected, I'll be honest. So we have the upper semifinals, ByuN versus MinoVK. In lower matches, Mana. Oh my god, I didn't even know. My apologies. Mana takes down Classic 2. I did say at the start how you should not underestimate Mana, and that Mana can threaten these players. Despite that, I was still favoring Classic. And this is a tournament of upsets. Mana takes down Classic, Spirit went down early, SKillous got knocked out, Dark no-showed. So coming into this, I would have favored Dark, Classic, and Spirit to have some deep runs and to be in the semis, and the combination of the three to be in the finals between Spirit, Classic, and Dark. Dark no-showed, Spirit got cheesed out early, and Classic got taken out by Mana. Already the three favorites are out, and we're going to have a new champion. We're going to have a brand new StarCraft Evolution champion this week. And we have 0 Zerg players and we have 1 Terran. ByuN is the only Terran player left. The only Terran player left here in the tournament against a sea of Protoss. Let's go. Us go. Just making sure everyone's getting involved. Beautiful. So Vitas are done. Game 1 is going to be on Ley Lines, Game 2 Amygdala, Game 3 Frostline. So once again, the 3 SE2 ladder maps, which is a little bit unfortunate. We haven't featured any of the Brood War maps yet, but part of that might just be because, 1, there's an extra SE2 ladder map in the map pool, and 2, we do have some more unusual Brood War maps, so we're not able to feature them as much. For now, though, we are loading in to our next series. Let's go. Let us go. Yes, we will have our new champion. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Ley Lines, we have our South Korean Terran player, the Brood War Terran representing Shopify. It is ByuN. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the blue Protoss player representing Storm Gaming. It is MinoVK. Here we go. Whew. We have our TVP, and I did mention that MinoVK has been playing a lot more StarCraft Evolution. That is true. Despite that, I haven't seen too much of his play. I'll be honest, I haven't seen too much of MinoVK's StarCraft Evolution, so I don't really know how to place him. I don't know where to place him. Again, a lot of the CIS players, they have their own StarCraft Evolution tournaments that they run by 3D Clan and by Bratok and by some of the others, and those are matches that I just haven't seen as often. So I'm curious to see the level of MinoVK and how he compares to ByuN. Now, does he compare? As Mino does move out with an early scout. Bearing in mind, again, the last time we saw ByuN's Brood War Terran, he did 1 base all in. So MinoVK is being very safe. Very secure. Does move out. Does move out, gets eyes on the double gas. Double gas opener means faster factory, delayed TC out of ByuN. And we could see the same one base all in. I'll be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if ByuN did learn that one build and he's he's gonna rely on it. We'll see. Basically we're waiting. Yep, double factory. Okay. So if you weren't here last series for ByuN versus SKillous, this is how ByuN cheesed SKillous out in game 1, doing the same build. So double factory into fast machine shop, into spider mines, into ion thrusters, into mass vulture, into tank, into just a one base all in, just rise across the map. These marines, their purpose, their goal is to deny the scout. Deny the scout from MinuVK. MinuVK going for his own proxy setup, going for his own proxy Stargate even. Interesting. Now this should be proxy Oracle, and the Oracle is going to get a lot of economic damage, but will it help in the early game defense? That is the question. I mean, it will hinder the production, most likely, as there's going to be no anti-air. The anti-air are going to be a handful of marines, and they're out on the map. So we're about to get rowdy. Once again, the ion thrusters into spider mines, into mass vulture, then followed by tanks. Yep, there's a spider mine upgrade. So one base all in by ByuN. Mindle, he has so much potential with this initial Oracle. I just worry about that natural defense because he hasn't really seen too much. But again, if Mindle was watching, if he was in this lurking in the chat, if he was watching game 1 between ByuN and SKillous, then he should recognize what's happening. But I think he was mid-series against Homono at the time. Is the problem. ByuN moves in, shield battery's not ready, first attack does go down, nice pick off. Shield battery is finishing up. Oracle's on the way. ByuN, he just rushes past. He just rushes past the shield battery into the main base. There's a second shield battery in the main. Probes are still falling. Yeah, probes are getting one shot. Has two vultures, they one shot probe. Shield battery does nothing. And the Oracle dives in. The Oracle does threaten those SCVs. ByuN, he pulls away. Throws down the spider mines, and ByuN, he has too much. He has too much. He's done it. He breaks the main base. Gets 12 probe kills already, and ByuN is not done. ByuN, he's just begun. Going into the natural. Once again, one-shotting probes. Spider mines, they lock the Stalker in. Oh god. As the Stalker is trapped, cannot easily get out of this. And yeah, that's too much. that is just far too much. The Oracles, they get some SCV kills, but it doesn't matter. It does not matter. Not anymore. We throw down more spider mines. Just covering the main base. Massive connection. Takes on the final Stalker. And with that, that's going to be too much. That's going to be game here. As ByuN, he overwhelms. The boys, they be pulled away once again. Technically, MinuVK could kill every SCV here, but he will lose all his buildings. Like, he should lose the base trade. As MinuVK, he has no economy, he recalls back home. There's the NG overcharge. Trying to target out whenever he can, but again, he lost 44 probes. He lost far too much. Goliath production has begun instead of tanks. That makes sense. Plenty of anti-air. GG gets called, and ByuN, he will take game number 1. Whew. GG. GG, well played. So far, whenever ByuN has been forced to pick a Brood War Terran, he has gone for some cheese, he has gone for an all-in, and we'll see if that continues here. We'll see what race MinuVK picks next. Will it be Brood War? Will it be SC2? We go. Here we go. And the next game is going to be Amygdala. Okay. Amygdala is coming up next. And MinuVK, he is going for Brood War Protoss. Okay, he's switching things up. He's going for Brood War. ByuN just whispered me. He said, me, really good player. Oh, God. Just whispered him, Te-sagi. Te-sagi, papi. True, true. Imba, papi, imba. So we're getting into game number 2. Getting into game 2. And we'll see if ByuN can recover here. This is going to be a much larger map, true. Much larger map in the map pool. We're loading into Amygdala. And here we go, spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Amygdala, we have our South Korean Terran player, the SC2 Terran, bear that in mind. Representing Shopify, it is ByuN. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent, we have the Brood Dwarf Protoss, the blue Protoss player himself, representing Sashrom Gaming, it is Mindel VK. Now, I don't expect ByuN to one-base all in this time. We do expect him to embrace the mid-game. It's what we saw against SKillous, and ByuN is a little more comfortable with StarCraft 2 Terran, so we do expect something a little bit more standard, as he does move out very early on with the SCV. Hello. What's going on? So we have an early move out. This could be for an eBay block. This could be for an eBay block here at the natural to delay the expansion of Mindel. SCV gets spotted, and we'll see if ByuN goes for that eBay. We shall see. Back at home, single gas opener. Yep, eBay's thrown down. So we have the initial eBay block here by ByuN. Mindel, he moves out with a second probe. Okay, second probe does move out. We have some shenanigans on the way from Mindel VK. He ignores the eBay. Disrupting the opener. Show us a proxy. Show us that proxy as we're making our way towards the southern half of the map. Getting ready for, I imagine, proxy gates. I mean, the Cybercore is on the way. Now, what we have seen, I don't know if we've seen it in this matchup, we have seen proxy Robo into Bay, into proxy Reaver drop, but does that hit too late? I don't know how reliable that is here. ByuN likewise is scanning. Checking the southern half of the map. I mean, he saw the probe, true. Did see the worker moving out. Zell does pop.
Base is under attack.
ByuN moves in. Oh! He moves in. Oh my god, he sees. Yeah, Proxy Robo. As I mentioned, Proxy Robo, this was going to be a Reaver drop, and ByuN sees everything. He knows. ByuN is aware. Back in the main base. Factory. CC on the high ground. ByuN is walling up. He's walling off. The Reaper moves in. And he will throw down. He will shut down the probe. And what that means is that this probe was supposed to throw down a Bay. And now we can't. Now, I mean, he can always throw down the Bay back at home, true. The Bay doesn't have to be proxied. Shield battery on the way. Just the one gateway, producing a Dragoon. We can try to go for, like, shuttle harass, I suppose. There's the Bay at home instead. So we're going for the Reaver. We're still going for the Reaver drop. Our last production's being camped. And all we need is a Cyclone. To be honest, all we need is a tech lab on that factory. All we need is Cyclone production, and ByuN is going to be fine. Or D should be. This is that shuttle. Dragoon range being researched. Still one base play. Yes, there we go. The boys are being pulled to repair. Barely does. He does repair. Marine goes down. Oof. Mindel VK, he's getting some counter damage. And here comes that Reaver. Again, we have the attempted Reaver drop. Ooh, that's a tank first. Not Cyclone. Interesting. It's going to be a tank first. Tank into Viking. It still should be fine. Again, he's played against Brood Dwarf Protoss before. He knows. He knows. It's where the shuttle. Oof. Tank shot goes off. So he's going into double tank production, going into the Viking as well. And the Viking is just a secure way to shut down that shuttle. And as a reminder, there's no shuttle speed. There is no speed when WK takes the natural expansion. Here comes that drop. Again, ByuN is fully aware. The Viking is out. ByuN is supply blocked. Is supply blocked. We'll go for the shuttle. Oh! Yeah, it does start to step in. Oh no! Ooh, massive shot goes up, but the Reaver's gonna go down. It's a one-way trip. Remember, there is no recall. The shuttle has to get the hell out of here, but the Viking's on the hunt, and the Viking will shut this down. There we go. Shuttle does fall. ByuN, he defends. He deflects the Dragoons. And ByuN, he's all over this. Just shutting down the aggression, saturating on 2 bases. We have another, let's go, we have another Reaver on the way. Oh, it's so cute. He's crawling in. It looks like that hand is what's like dragging the rest of the body. It's a powerful hand. Let's go. Is it a hand in, I guess it must be a hand in Brood War. I always just remembered it as like, almost like a harvester, like a, I didn't realize that was dragging him forward, but meanwhile the Reaver goes down, massive pickoff, and he's gonna lose everything. He's gonna lose all the Dragoons here, brutal losses here, 4 minute VK, GG gets called, and ByuN will take the series 2-0, advancing on to the grand finals. GG. Whew. GG, well played. ByuN does take the series, does advance on to those finals here, and the question becomes, who can touch him? Who will face off against him? Who's it gonna be? Here we go. As we are getting ready here for our next series, is going to be the lower semis between Firefly and Mana. GG will played. We do have our PvP on the horizon here. Just need a moment to set up. So I was, god damn it, I was messaging ByuN. I was like, yo, did you gym today? And he was like, yes. Today was leg day. I'm like, oh, have you seen Impact? And he's like, oh, he's no human, he's a monster. Monster, man. I love Impact. It's great. Here we go. We're getting ready. We're getting ready here for the lower semis. Let's go. ByuN, he says, wait for me. Wait, I'll be better than Impact. Crazy. Ay. Okay, we're going in. We're going into our next game. The reason why I asked ByuN if he went to the gym is because we were casting ByuN this morning, and ByuN, if you remember, he was playing against Solar in the finals of this morning's tournament, and ByuN was saying that he was going to the gym soon. So that's why I even asked him that, because I was curious if he had followed up on that, if he went to the gym after the tournament. But here we go. We're getting into our next series. We're getting into our next game. The lower semifinals are upon us, and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of ley lines, we have the red Polish Protoss player representing Team Liquid. It is Mana. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the Chinese Protoss player, the Brutal Protoss. It is Firefly. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we jump into our lower semifinals. Does look like a June Harvester, for sure, for sure. Except for the hand, like the hand throw, like in Brood, I have to like relook at the sprites in Brood War, but in my mind, it just looked like you know, like a caterpillar mouth sort of thing, where it was like, you know, yeah, like harvesting like crops. that's its appearance, if I recall. But here now in HD in StarCraft Evolution, it's just a hand. It's just a hand that like it just drags it across the map, across the ground. Again, I'd have to recheck like Brood War, but it does look very different from what I remember. Actually, you know what? I can just look it up. Brood War Reaver. Yeah, like if you look at the images, like it doesn't. It looks like it's like its teeth and stuff. And it's like its little legs. It's crawling on the ground. Was it always a hand? Or was that like a recent aesthetic choice? I don't know. I need to see like a sprite of the Reaver moving. Regardless, we're getting in. We're getting into our next game. We do have initial opener. It's going to be double gas into double Dragoon here from Firefly. Meanwhile, Mana back at home opening up a double gate into double Adept. Ooh, into a Robo opener. Interesting. That's going to be a Robo before expansion. Very safe opener here by Mana. Very safe play here. This Robo, of course, can lead into early game Immortal production, which can work very well against Dragoons. And again, Mana, of course, here. Oh my god, we're going for the all NTs. As we're going for proxy shield batteries. Proxy's on the way. Mana does miss the proxy setup. Now, thankfully, Mana will have access to early game Immortal production. But those shield batteries, they may pose an issue here. They may pose a problem. Shade is denied. Citadel of Adun on the way. Jesus, going into Zealot legs. And Mana is cleaned up. Mana, he's in a bit of trouble here. He's walling up, walling off. Confirms no expansion. He's going for his own Nexus. Just have that shield battery. There we go. Immortal production well underway. That will help. But here come those Dragoons. And Mana is about to find out the hard way. Dragoons are revealed. Nice force fields. Trying to lock down the army. Shield batteries are revealed as well. Despite that, that one Immortal does pack a punch. Takes down the first Dragoon. He gets one. And doesn't quite get the others. Oh, barely will get a second. Barely not. Yeah, the Immortal takes so many hits, so much damage. Immortal goes down. And Mana's in trouble. Mana, he's in trouble here. That was an expensive loss. He was out of range of his shield battery. He got a little bit too excited. Mana finishing off that low ground shield battery. Yo, shield battery versus shield battery. Let's go. More shield batteries on the way. Trying to trade. Once again, just getting bullied back. One shield battery is not quite like the other. As Mana's shield battery is out of energy. I mean, again, that's just because Firefly has been the aggressor. He's been preserving more of his own energy. The Immortal has arrived, and with the help of the Immortal, Mana should hold. I'm a little bit surprised that Zealot Legs was never researched. Oh, going into High Templar, never mind. Or even Dark Templar. From here, we can go into Dark Templar instead. There we go. Storm is being researched. Firefly taking into Storm. Mana does hold onto his natural. Looks down another Dragoon. And now he can clean up the proxy. Okay, now as the dust settles, where exactly are we? Both players are on 2 bases. Mana does scout. Mana confirms the researching Temple Archive, so he knows that Storm is on the way. Storm does hit different here from the Brood War side, so Storm is never seen in PvP in SC2, but here in SC2 versus Brood War, Storm, I mean, it can eviscerate this army. Is something to be respected. So a very different dynamic here. This is why, like, quote-unquote mirror matchups don't really exist in StarCraft Evolution. Like, SC2 Protoss and Brood War Protoss, they play out so differently. Same with, like, SC2 Zerg, Brood War Zerg, Terran and Protoss as well. They are completely different races. They use similar units, but they're only similar. As Mana does push in, he has those force fields. Locks down 2 of the Dragoons. Boys are being pulled. He gets one against both Dragoons. Both Dragoons go down. Likewise, catching out a High Templar. Storm is ready. And he needs a little bit more time. Oh, one High Templar goes down. Needs a couple more seconds. 73, 74, 75. Oh! Oh, good. He has a Storm. Yeah, he has 1 Storm available. He's coming in with a Storm drop. Going for the sentries. Oh, the pre-split. Let's go. Does pre-split. The spread. Storm takes down 1 sentry. Ooh, takes down all 3. Oh, all 3 sentries go down. Mana we came in too soon. It's being forced back. Mana's being forced back, but he's getting a lot of economic damage. Takes down another Dragoon. There's 2 Dragoons left. As Mana does kite away. Behind this, reinforcing with more Immortals, extra gateways. Warpins are delayed, but he's still pushing in. Oof, taking a lot of damage though. We'll lose another Immortal. Adepts, they do shade past the army. Some rough SimCity though. Likewise, once again, going for the mineral line. But Mana, he has to get out of here. He does not have enough. He cannot keep pushing in. That Immortal's getting low. Oof. Does get 1 more Dragoon, but the last Firefly holds. Firefly, he does hold on. Adepts, they shade past the army. They go for the mineral line. They can one-shot probes. And they will. They one-shot workers here, crippling the economy. Mana is just all over Firefly. And behind this, Mana taking into nothing quite yet. The Twilight Council's still in the way. Working towards Blink, I would imagine. But now he backs off. He backs off. Firefly holds. Whew, he does hold on, but the economy's in shambles. Here, Firefly, he's stuck on 33 workers. We can see Mana on full 2-base saturation, and now getting a 3rd. 3rd base is on the way. You could argue that this 3rd base is late. I would agree. Mana, he was banking up resources, so Mana, he was just hyper fixated on his control, where his macro did lapse. So a bit of a lapse in the macro from Mana. Storm drop coming in. Let's go. Storm does hit the main. Oh my god. You see the pre-split here out of Mana. Where's the Storm? I mean, still denying mining time. Oh my god. Does try to split. Oh, there's a Storm on the Morphing and Stalkers. Does do some hull damage, but it's going to be a one-way trip. The shuttle goes down. High Templar as well. Suddenly not as worth it there for Firefly. Likewise, Immortal drop towards the natural. This time with a Prism. Ooh, shuttle taking. Oh no! Oh, Prism goes down. Alas, Mana, he does overextend. Again, didn't respect the range on those Dragoons. Did not expect the range. Massive loss for Mana. Suddenly, the advantage that he once had is not as there anymore. He should have 4 Immortals, down to 2. Behind this, making or going for double robo production, double Immortals at a time. Making 2 at a time. 3rd base fully saturated. Firefly not too far behind. We have a game. We have a game. We have a back and forth. As Mana's being active. Going for the Bay, going for Disruptors, I would imagine. Dragoons, they catch up the army. Yeah, Immortals lagging behind. Storm's going to be coming in. Oof. Storm of the Stalkers. Yeah, Blink is not available. Went into charge instead. Cell set buying time. Immortals, they trade well. Yeah, they shut down most, if not all, the Dragoon. Oh my god, the Immortals, they survive. Oh my god, they barely do survive. Much more efficient trade there by Mana. He preserves the Immortals, he shuts down the Dragoons. And Mana, he's going for it. He's sending it. It's a breakthrough. There's no storm. Sorry, there's one storm available. Storm pops up in a couple of seconds. There's going to be another storm. But the Cells, they close the gap. They close the distance. Those Chargelets, they just zone back the Dragoons. And Mana has done it. He started stepping forward. Going for the remaining Dragoons. Storm of the main army. Immortals, they do hold the ramp. More Chargelets coming in. The Prism is here to reinforce. There's that one DT, but there's detection. There's the Observer. The Observer's in position. GG gets called. Mana overwhelms, and Mana takes game number 1. Whew. GG. Mana does take a lead. A very intense game. Very intense. GG, well played. Mana does take the first game, and now we're getting into game number 2. Getting into game 2. And Mana looking quite strong, looking quite powerful here in tonight's broadcast. He already took down Classic. Now he's up against Firefly. At least in the PvP, Mana is popping off. We'll see if he can keep going. We'll see if he can keep this going and make it to the finals. Again, we have 2 series left. 2 series remaining. Getting everyone involved. And game 2 is Amygdala, one of the larger maps in the map pool. Mana, he is going to be playing Brood War Protoss this time, so the roles have been reversed. We have Brood War Protoss out of Mana, SC2 Protoss out of Firefly. Let's go. Here we go. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Amygdala, we have our Polish Protoss player. We have our red Protoss representing Team Liquid, who are leading the series 1-0. It is Mana. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the blue Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss himself, the Chinese Protoss, the SC2 Protoss. It is Firefly. We go. As we are jumping into our next game, into potentially the final game of the series. The pressure is now on Firefly to bounce back, to recover. We'll see if he can. Likewise, I'm excited to see how Mana makes use of the Brood War Protoss race. I'll be honest, going for Storm felt very unique from the side of Firefly. Maybe I haven't seen enough PvP, but I would imagine that typically the go-to response is to go Dragoon Reaver. I feel like that is the stock standard kind of composition of PvP in StarCraft Evolution. We'll see if Mana goes for Storm again, as he does open up single gas. So gate expand out of Mana, very economic start. Considering the aggression of Firefly in game 1, this is a bold move. This feels very bold. This feels very risky here from Mana. We'll see if he can get away with it. As Firefly does hide his probe. He does hide his worker. He avoids the scouting probe of Mana. And yep, proxy pylon. So Mana, greedy economic build. Firefly going for the proxy. Now, this could be a proxy Robo, could be a proxy Stargate, could even be a proxy Twilight Council. We're waiting for the Cybercore. Cybercore is about to complete. Once it does, then we can throw down some tech. Mana does scout the full wall here at the ramp. Now he knows something is wrong. He's now aware that something is wrong, something is amiss. He has denied the scouts, and he has to figure out what the hell's happening. Zealot first. Meanwhile, we confirm double robo. Oh my. Okay. That I was not expecting. Proxy double robo out of Firefly. I have never seen this before. I imagine double robo means immortal and prism at the same time. Could be making an immortal and a warp prism at the same time to be able to micro, to be able to have that additional control as well. We can see that Mana, he's scouring the southern half of the map. He's looking for the proxy. He does not check the northern half. Not yet. So Mana, he gambles a little bit here. He does gamble incorrectly, checking the half of the map where the proxy could be. Does check the center. Behind this, shield battery on the ramp, opening up Dragoon. And now he's checking the northern half. Does check the third location. Keeps going. Fanning out. He's going for the, yeah, he's going for the Zarnaga. There we go. Spots a Zealot, spots the Adept. Very suspect. And now he sees. Yeah, now he confirms double robo. There's a prism. There's immortal, as we did mention. And this is going to be difficult to deal with. He's going for the pylons, but there's two pylons. It should remain powered. Killing one is still going to be a nice pickoff, though, and he should get one. Yeah, one pylon goes down. Mana pulls away. Behind this, they bleed out 3 probes. And at least now he's aware of what's coming. And ideally, he wants to try to focus on the shuttle. Sorry, the prism. You know what I mean. Prism into the mineral line. Dragoons, they do trigger the shields. They zone back the army. Going for his own Stargate response. I love it. Stargate should be for the Corsair or the Scout. Oh no! Oh my god. Prism does overextend. It does overextend. Takes down the Zealots. Prism taking a lot of hits. But last we have additional immortals here in that steam, in the vents. Probe across the map. Spots all the immortals. He cannot fight this head on. He needs those shield batteries. Does pull away. No shield battery on the low ground. Just now beginning. Oh, that's gonna be a problem. There's a scout. Scout's on the way. And again, the scout will help. Our boys are being pulled. They do a great job buffering. Going for the shuttle. Singularity charge is just now finishing up. That is Dragoon range. And remember, there's no anti-air here. That scout is going to completely shut that prism down. Now, the scout can kill the prism. Can the immortal still win head-on in that ground fight? Making 2 immortals at a time, that is so many immortals. It might not matter that there's no war prism, I'll be honest. Shields are being triggered. Yep, Scout has arrived. We have to pull the boys. We have to pull the boys here to fight this head on. Prism does fall. Nice pickoff. I say we have to pull the boys. The immortals. Oh god, yeah, they can. They hold their own. Yo, the Scout raining down on the immortal. Gets one. Gets one. Oh god, please add a lot of Dragoons. Gets a second, gets a third, and there's 2 immortals left, and Mana, he's holding. Mana, he's holding. There we go. The boys are being pulled. Takes down another immortal. Down to 2. 2 immortals left, soon to be down to 1. Second scout comes in. And down to 0. GG gets called. Whew. Mana, he does hold on. He does survive. And Mana will take the 2-0. GG. Whew. Oh my god, that was a very intense game. GG, well played. Whew. And with that, congratulations here. Congratulations, Mana. He will claim the series, will advance on to the grand finals, and we are getting ready for those finals. We're getting ready here for what comes next for that PVT. It's going to be a best of 5 between Mana and ByuN. That was intense, yo, but the Hero Scout came into play. It's beautiful. Wasn't doing much anti-ground damage, of course. Was tickling the immortals, but it was all about the anti-air. Sniped the prism, and that was game. It was almost game. I mean, again, I was still fearful for the Dragoons and with how they would handle themselves against Mass Immortal. But the kiting was good enough. He had some Zealots to tank some shots. He did pull the boys when necessary. And with that, Mana, he is our second finalist. And now we're getting ready for the grand finals. Here we go. TVP, ByuN versus Mana. And is Mana aware how cheesy ByuN has been? Is he aware? Just getting everyone involved. Beautiful. Making sure all the casters get invited, as Vitas are now underway. Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay, so oh my god, we may just be going on a short break here. Yeah, we're going to be going on a short break. Vetoes have just begun, and when we come back, we'll have the grand finals. We'll have our final series here of the night of the broadcast, that best of 5 between Mana and ByuN. We'll see you guys after the break. See you soon. See you soon, Pappy. See you soon. welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Hope you enjoyed that lovely brutal OST as we have returned. We have returned with the grand finals of the 2025 KungFu Cup number 3 StarCraft Evolution Edition. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of ley lines, we have the South Korean Terran player, the Brutal Terran. It is, for Shopify, ByuN. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the Polish Protoss player himself, the red Protoss, the SC2 Protoss. For Team Liquid, it is Mana. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open, and place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck. Best of luck in the chat as we jump into our final best of 5. Oh boy, as a reminder, this is going to be a prediction for the entire series, not for the game. So best of luck with those predictions as we jump into our best of 5. And we will have a new champion, Mana and ByuN, two players that honestly don't really compete too often in StarCraft Evolution. We actually saw 2 weeks ago ByuN playing in StarCraft Evolution for the first time. He was playing for the first time. He admitted it himself. He was like, mate, I'm just playing for fun. I don't really have a lot of experience here. And we saw ByuN go down to SKillous multiple times last week or 2 weeks ago in the last SEL tournament. But here in the KungFu Cup, ByuN, he was able to overwhelm, able to surpass SKillous, and ByuN has had a crazy performance this week. Likewise, SKillous got taken out by ByuN, Classic got taken out by Mana. So both Mana and ByuN have been performing very well tonight. They have taken down some of the favorites to win the entire event, and now they've found themselves in the finals. Let's go. Let us go. So now we have double gas opener. It's going to be racks into factory. Now ByuN, every game that we've seen from ByuN on ley lines with Brutal Terran, one base all in. So this should be a one base all in. He's going factory into second factory into machine shops into mass vulture, ion thrusters, spider mines, followed by tanks. One base all in out of ByuN. We'll see if Mana can hold. We'll see if Mana was watching, because ByuN did this same build against Mindo VK. He also did this same build against SKillous. So ByuN has been very fond of this all in. It's all he's done with Brutal Terran, I'll be honest. Like, he's purely all in with Brutal Terran. Part of that is because he is less experienced with it and most likely not too confident. But there it is, ion thrusters on the way. It's going to be ion thrusters, second machine shop, spider mines, then potentially into tanks as a follow-up. Mana back at home. Ooh, Stargate opener. That's going to be an interesting one. Remember, vultures and tanks, they don't shoot up. Marines do, but these are going to be vanilla Marines here. So defensively, I wonder how well Void Rays would perform against an all-in. Curious. I'm curious. Meanwhile, Mana, he did somewhat scout. He saw the double gas. He saw the faster factory. Shield battery is done on the low ground. We have spider mines on the way. And here comes ByuN. Catching up in the chat. Is this the finals? Yes, this is the grand finals. So final series. Best of 5. Best of 5 grand finals between Mana and ByuN. First Marine goes down. Nice pickoff. The wall is building up. Going Oracle first. Interesting choice. Going for the Oracle. ByuN's like, yo, what? You have a full wall. Goes to. Crazy. Yo, Mana, he doesn't quite know what's going on yet. Vultures, they poke in. And we're waiting for the Spider Mine. Spider Mine's not ready yet. Vulture takes a lot of hits. Oracle's revealed. Marine's going to be going down. And Mana is going to completely clean this up. Remember, no anti-air. Yeah, there's no anti-air here. The Marines will fall one after the other. We have the armory on the way from ByuN. And ByuN, he has to back off. He has to back off. He has to retreat. Looks like he's getting ready for Goliaths. Meanwhile, shows the spider mines. Shows as we try to focus down that initial stalker. Alas, it's a full wall. And the vultures, they are denied. You can see he's trying to throw down that spider mine on the other side. It doesn't work that way. You have a couple of spider mines. The worker's going to be going down. The Oracle does pop up. And ByuN is trying to force his way through. But again, the wall is just too solid. Oracle comes in, does focus down the vultures one after the other, and Mana holds. Mana holds. Mana completely shuts this down. ByuN is gonna be, ByuN, he has nothing left here. GG gets called, the all-in fails, and Mana takes game number 1. GG. Sorry, I had to mute, I sneezed. Yeah, but Mana does take a lead. Again, just a really solid defense there, able to completely wall off. Likewise, the Oracle was dealing critical damage across the map, and ByuN could do nothing. could do nothing aggressively. With that, that leads us into game number 2. Just catching up with the chat. What are the SE2 versus Brood War matchups for each of the 5 games? Terran and Protoss, if that's what you mean. Like the players aren't switching races, if that's what you're referring to. But what I will say is that the format here is different from StarCraft Evolution. If you are familiar with StarCraft Evolution, the way that StarCraft Evolution, the SEL League and most StarCraft Evolution tournaments, they're Brood War versus SE2 exclusively, and it's loser's pick. The loser gets to decide if they want to stick with their current race or switch to Brood War or switch to SE2, right? That's usually how this format works. For the KungFu Cup, the format is unique. It is different. For KungFu Cup, Game 1 is SE2 versus Brood War. Game 2 forces the switch, Brood War and SE2. So players that force the switch here. Because of that, Mana is going to be playing Brood War Protoss, and ByuN... Okay, we're good. Whew. We're good. As we're getting, so we're forced to switch for game 2. Game 3 is going to be Brood War versus Brood War. That is something we haven't seen before. Strictly in StarCraft Evolution, Brood War is not balanced around Brood War versus Brood War, so I don't know how that's gonna work out. I'll be honest, it's gonna be a weird one. So we'll get there in game 3, and game 4 is SE2 versus SE2. So this is a more unique format, which does feature Brood War versus Brood War in KungFu Cup, which is something that we've never casted before on the channel. So we'll see how that goes. Again, it's not meant to be balanced, so we'll see. As spawning in the top right hand corner of Amygdala, we have our StarCraft 2 Terran player, our SE2 Terran from South Korea. Down in the series, we'll see if he can bounce back. It is ByuN for Shopify. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner, we have the Polish Protoss player, the Brood War Protoss, representing Team Liquid. It is Mana. How about game 5? Game 5 is whatever you prefer. Game 5, the players they get to pick and choose. So the ace matches, they pick and choose. They can both play Brood War. One can play SE2, the other can play Brood War, vice versa. Ace matches, whatever the players wish. It's just game 1 to 4 where it is forced certain matchups. So this is a unique format for the KungFu Cup. Again, maybe not the most balanced format, but unique nonetheless, and I appreciate that. I appreciate that it's a little bit more unique here. And we'll be able to feature that in Game 3. For now, we do have our openers, single gas. ByuN is going for a Rax expand. We saw ByuN go for a 1-base all-in last game, but again, ByuN has been exclusively going for all-ins when he plays Brood War Terran, so when it comes to SE2, we should be seeing a more standard economic opener. And we'll see if Mana can keep up. If you remember, the last time we casted ByuN on this map was his series against SKillous, where SKillous did have a hard time keeping up with the multi-pronged aggression. Again, Brood War Protoss, the biggest weakness for Brood War Protoss is its lack of mobility. You don't have, or the Prism isn't as mobile with its pickup range. Likewise, there's no recoil, at least not without the Arbiter, so recoil is a much later tech. Likewise, there's no Blink Stalkers, there's no Warping mechanic, so because of that, vision is paramount on for Brood War Protoss. Vision, scouting, spotter pylons, spotter zealots, observers, they are so important here in this matchup, and ByuN was doing a great job at denying vision and denying scouting from SKillous. My apologies, it was on Frostline, not on Amygdala. But if you remember in that series, ByuN, he was catching and sniping so many of SKillous' observers, and SKillous, as a result, had a really hard time catching out drops and keeping up and reacting to the drop play of ByuN. Now, we see something very different. Mana, he doesn't open Robo, he opens Stargate. This is unique. With a Stargate opener, we can try to open Scouts. Scouts are not the best harassing unit, but I mean, I guess. The other option here that we have seen tonight is carrier rushes. We could rush into like a fleet beacon into carrier, but that would be crazy. I don't know if Mana is willing to embrace that. We'll see. But that is how Spirit lost. Like, Spirit did drop his series of carrier rushes. Here we go, Scout is on the way. Now, I believe a Scout 3-shot an SEV. I think it's 3-shot. So so harassing Scouts, they can be somewhat effective. They're not amazing, but they can be okay. They're not as mobile as oracles by any means. But we'll see if we open up double scout. Yeah, as the scout is rallied here into the main. So it looks like a double scout opener out of mana. First scout has arrived. Yep, second scout's on the way. So with 2 scouts, you can 2-shot. Again, it takes 3 scout shot. I guess with 3 scouts, you can 1-shot. But with 2 scouts, you can 2-shot. Those workers. Mana going to be forced back. I don't know if Mana is willing to invest into a 3rd scout. Like, that's a pretty big investment. Bearing in mind that scouts will not actually be too effective when it comes to main army defense. They're not really amazing when it comes to just their anti-ground attacks against marines, against just units in general. On the flip side, they have amazing anti-air. So that's the difference between like a scout opener and an oracle opener, right? Oracles, they can almost exclusively harass and they can scout with revelation, but scouts, their anti-air is actually pretty insane. So this would be a really good way to actually shut down medevacs. So in my mind, initially I was thinking, oh, like we can harass, right? We can harass, we can 2-shot SCVs, we can do some economic damage, but actually Mana, he's not using them to harass, he's using them for drop defense, which I think is a unique approach. As Mana is in position. And again, like he's searching for drops. He's not harassing with them. And that is a unique approach to the problem that is Brutal Protoss. As we mentioned, like drop play can pull a Brutal Protoss player apart. But scouts, I guess, are Mana's answer to that. Scan into the main, reveals the Stargate, reveals the Gateway Explosion. Citadel is done, working towards Storm, and charge. So charge outs and Storm on the horizon here, not Reaver. Scouts, they poke in. Again, they 2-shot SCVs. 1 SCV goes down, he gets 1, he gets almost 2. Medevac does complicate things, gets a Marine. Gets a Marine, takes a bit of hull damage, and the scout does pull back. So nothing major. And so far it's important here that he maintains these scouts. We have a 3rd scout on the way. As again, it's on Mana to contain the Terran. They're still giving bonus points for building scouts? No, not in this tournament. Remember, that is only for StarCraft Evolution League. This is KungFu Cup. So different tournament, different format, different rules. There is no scout bonus. So this is Mana just opening scout. And again, which is why I feel like it's really, really unique and really interesting. Meanwhile, ByuN does break out, catches 2 Dragoons already. Nice pickups, he's going to get all 3. Yeah, look at his Brutal. Takes out another 2 Dragoons. 4 Dragoons go down. ByuN, he breaks out, and Mana's in a bit of trouble here. Storm is not ready. We need Storm. Storm is only halfway done. Remember, there's no Chrono. ByuN moves out. As he moves out, scouts, they attempt to harass. But ByuN's not going to turn around for 3 scouts. That's not going to happen. Mana's in trouble. Yeah, ByuN, he sims in. Mana, he needs more time. He evacuates. He evacuates the expansion nodes. He cannot save it. Light Templar! No, Light Templar! Oh my god. Barely doesn't get them. High Templar do survive. Loken is brutal. High Templar barely makes it out, and the base is going to fall. Yeah, ByuN drops into the main. Scouts, they do get some SCV kills, not bad. Meanwhile, he's going for Storm. Storm will finish, thankfully. Storm does complete. Boys are being pulled. Oh god, we're losing so many workers here. It's brutal. So many workers go down. Likewise, High Templar, they try to respond. Their base does fall. No storms yet. Okay, he's holding onto those High Templar. There's a scan. Mana's trying to hold on across the map with other scouts. The scouts are cleaned up. Does get some good economic damage. Brings ByuN down to 34 CVs. But Mana, he has no dive potential. He needs more zealots. Yeah, he sims in. Ooh, takes a storm to the base. Massive. Oh my god, massive storm. Against storms, they hit different. Shuts down the ByuN, shuts down the Marines. DT goes for the tanks. And the first tank is gonna go down. Nice pick off. Gets 1 tank. Mana, he's gonna hold on. Yeah, he will hold. 1 tank left, down to 0. Whew, clutch defense here by Mana. And again, ByuN, he lost so many SCVs to those scouts. He lost how many? He lost 22 against the 29 dead workers of Mana. Mana, he's double expanding. He's double expanding. Mind Drop is coming in. Hey, he still has that one scout, true. That one scout did survive. It's got 8 kills, 8 SCV kills. You can just see how much damage it does here to the medevac, and Mana is gonna hunt it down. Try to, at least. As ByuN, he is deflected. He will escape. Mana gonna be counterattacking. He still has those 2 High Templars, still has Storms. And we'll see if Mana can get away with that double expand. ByuN back at home is licking his wounds. He's still recovering. Did take a lot of losses. Without any defensive tanks, can Mana break the natural? If he had some more Zealots, I think he could, but the Zealot count is really low. And he's heavily right. Oh no! Oh, he's gonna lose High Templar. Brutal pickup. High Templar goes down. Now he has that many less Storms. Oof. Macho going up. Storm on the ByuN. There's 1 Storm left. Oh my god, massive Storm! Storm goes up, but it's not going to be enough, and ByuN, he will hold. He will hold on. Imagine 1 more Storm. Could have been enough. Yeah, Mana is going to lose everything here. He bleeds out the entire army. Scout as well. Oof. He'll lose everything. A big overcommitment here from Mana. Mana, he plummets in supply. Does plummet. He's trying to rebuild his Templar archives. He has 0 High Templar left, 0 Storm. This is a late reaction out of Mana. A late realization. And ByuN is in a better position. He's in a better position here. Again, ByuN is building up a very cheap army. Mana's army is more expensive. All these Dragoons, all these High Templar. Much more expensive force here for Mana. No hero wall today. No, not today. Not today. Not this time. As ByuN is pushing. And ByuN has an overwhelming army. Now, outside of taking some massive Storms to the face, ByuN should have enough to overwhelm. Mana is making 6 High Templar at a time. That is true. Is making those High Templar. But he needs more time to build up that energy. Mind Shot's about to be going up. Brutal connections. Mana, he has to pull back. He bleeds out those Zealots. Takes down the medevac at least. Does take down the medevac. Mana pulls away. At the same time, Mind Drop coming in. Sorry, Marine Drop even. Mana, he has a cannon. Does have a cannon to defend. And ByuN, he will break the expansion. Again, just so many Marauders. Such a Marauder heavy composition. Goes filing across the map. And Mana, he tried to recover. He's not going to. He's not going to recover. ByuN, he has enough to overwhelm. Again, it was just a really rough start for Mana to lose the 3rd base initially. If Mana had saved the 3rd, then a different game state, sure, but he just gave it up. I mean, he couldn't hold on. ByuN stims in. Still respecting those Storms. Oh, coming in with the EMP. Oh my god, it goes to the EMP drop. Takes down the Storms. And ByuN, he overwhelms. He does overwhelm. There's no High Templar left. Takes down the Archons. Collapses on the Archons. Collapses on the Dragoons. Heads towards the 3rd base. And ByuN is overstimmed. True, heavily overstimmed. There's a scan for the Dark Templar. Catches both. Collapsing on those Dragoons. GG gets called, and ByuN, he will tap the series 1-1. Whew. Does tie things up. Again, a very intense game. We saw Mana attempt to hold on, but we saw that, alas, the Scout opener did leave a little bit much to be desired. Was able to cripple the economy, that is true, but he couldn't really slow down the push. He couldn't slow down the main army, and that's what mattered in the end. ByuN, he was able to break that 3rd base before Storm was complete, and he just pulled Mana apart from there. Storm was so close to finishing, but barely not done in time, and without Storm, Mana couldn't hold. Could not hold. With the death of that 3rd base, that was game then and there, almost. We saw that Mana was able to do some counter damage with the Scouts, but it wasn't enough. Was not enough. GG. GG, well played. With that, we have a tied series, and we're getting into game number 3. As a reminder, this is a unique format for this tournament. Game 3 is Brood War versus Brood War, something that we haven't seen before. Now, the reason why we haven't seen this before is because this game mode, StarCraft Illusion mod is not balanced for Brood War versus Brood War. For those that are curious, this game mod is patched quite regularly, like almost on, I would say, a monthly basis, sometimes multiple times a month. But it has a lot of support behind it. It has a lot of care put into it as well, of course, and it is balanced specifically for SE2 versus Brood War. That is what is taken into consideration when it comes to balancing the units, balancing the army, adjusting certain numbers, of course. There is maybe a misconception. Some people might think that this is a direct port of Brood War units to SE2. That is not true. It was originally ported over as a direct port, and then it has been adjusted to make it balanced, right? To balance out the armies, to balance out the units, the numbers between the two races, between SE2 and Brood War. So that is why we're not supposed to see Brood War versus Brood War here. But again, in this tournament, it is a more unique, I mean, again, it's a unique format. We get to experience it here and now. Let's go. As spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Ultra Love, we have our South Korean Terran player, the Brood War Terran representing Shopify. It is ByuN. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the Brood War Protoss player representing Team Liquid. It is Mana from Poland. ByuN with his muscles. True. Exactly. Let's go. And again, ByuN, he did say that he was going to surpass Impact. True. Did say that. That's a bold claim. Like, Impact is looking crazy good right now. Like, he's... I mean, I say right now, for quite a number of years at this point. Insane. We'll see if ByuN can catch up. This is when the next, like, a year from now, the like Korean like pro scene, they're all just gonna be jacked. Like, I'm picturing ByuN, I'm picturing like Maru as well. It's gonna be crazy. But now though, we do have our initial setup here. Is going to be Economic Opener out of Mana, and ByuN for the first time with Brood War Terran, Rax Expand. Okay, Rax Expand Economic Start here from our Terran player. Now, I don't really favor ByuN coming into the mid game in this kind of in Brood War Terran versus Brood War Protoss. I'll be honest, I do favor Mana coming into this, but that's only because we haven't really seen ByuN attempt to macro much at all when it comes to Brood War Terran. He's often going for all-ins. He's often just cheesing, going for all-ins. So I'm curious to see how he plays this out and how he does embrace that mid-game. Are we going to go into mech? Are we going to go into double factory, into triple factory, into like mass vulture production into mech? Mech is viable, very much so. We could see bio instead. For now, Rax into factory. This feels like mech. If this was bio, we'd see a second Rax, a third Rax, and an academy to rush into Stim. Stim would be a big prioritization for ByuN. Meanwhile, Mana, Jesus, rushing into a third Nexus. Third Nexus before any tech, before the second gateway, before a robo, before anything. Very greedy. Very greedy out of Mana. From the side of ByuN, as we assumed that because there was no second Rax, it's mech. It's going to be mech here, second factory's on the way. So ByuN is going to mech it up with vultures, of course. Meanwhile, Mana is being hyper greedy, and we'll see if ByuN can punish this greed. I mean, ByuN has no scouting. That's the other problem here, is that ByuN, he's going to have to rely on the vulture to get any kind of vision. He's sending out his Overlord, I guess. He's sending out his Rax, and that will give him some information, but ByuN didn't even SEV scout. So yeah, this is going to be a little bit tricky here for ByuN. We should be seeing ion thrusters. There we go. Vulture production into siege mode for a moment, but does cancel. There we go. Ion thrusters on the way. That is going to be vulture speed. Embracing mech. Maybe ByuN slept less than 3 hours today. True. ByuN, ByuN, he played in the Hub Cup in the morning, then he played in Turtle Tussle, then he went to the gym, then he got a little bit of sleep, and then he woke up here. But ByuN, at the same time, he's used to having no sleep. Like, he's an animal. Like, ByuN, he's a pure degen, so he might be on low hours of sleep, but that's when ByuN plays his best. He likes it, man. He likes it. Oh, are we opening up Wraith? Control tower is done. What is our plan here? Does ByuN even know what he's going for? We're going to be opening up with our initial Wraith. Are we going to invest into Cloak? Show us what you got. Oh, okay, dropship. Dropship first. Going for a Vulture drop. Meanwhile, the Rex does get eyes. Oh, actually doesn't fully get eyes on the third Nexus. Meanwhile, we do have Dragoon production well underway. Getting into Shuttle, getting into Reaver drop. So Reaver drop from our Protoss player. ByuN moving in. Oh god, those Vultures are so fast. They're so speedy. Oh my god. Gets into the mineral line, gets 1, gets 2, gets 3. 3 probe kills. Up! Spider-Mans to go off. Massive connection. Telestone the Dragoons away. Drop the right hand side. And we're opening up heavily here into initially Vulture, then into tank production. We're going to be building up tanks, armories on the way for upgrades, working towards siege mode. ByuN is building up. Meanwhile, we spoke about the control tower, and yes, it is for Wraiths. So it is going to be a dropship into Wraith. Vulture drop into the main. Mana doesn't spot this, out of position. And we see the Vultures, oh, they're gonna camp the production. Spider Mines are set, heads towards the mineral line. Yeah, ByuN just trying to pull his opponent apart. Against Spider Mines, they do not connect onto workers, but they connect onto the Dragoons. And Dragoons say, oh no, they pop out. Ooh, they take they take the shots to the face. Vultures, they fight head on. Meanwhile, across the map, ByuN does pull away in time. We have the Reaver drop here into the mineral line. Ooh, massive connection. Oh, good shot's going to be going off. But the Wraith will shut down the shuttle. Oh my god, as we get another shot here into the mineral line. Meanwhile, the Vultures are cleaned up. Mana, he defends. Mana, he defends, so does ByuN. As it settles, Mana still ahead in workers, and remember, these spider mines, they don't connect on workers. So the workers, they can actually just freely mine over the spider mines like this. Like this. We're all friends here. We're all friends. The spider mines and the workers, we're all good. Spider mines, they technically workers are floating units, so spider mines they don't detonate onto workers. Same with Vultures. I believe Vultures are technically floating as well. Or like hovering. They're not touching the ground. Oh. As you see Mana breaking out, he has detection. We'll shut down all these spider mines. Breaks through. ByuN attempting a counterattack. And he will keep Mana back. Siege mode is being researched. Getting to +1, embracing more mech. ByuN will slip in. He can one-shot probes. Gets a handful of them. Gotta be locked down. Gets a couple more worker kills, not bad. It gets 4 in total. Whew, now we can calm down. We can calm down, we can settle in, and now as we take a moment here to kind of take stock, Mana, he has purely a gateway composition. He lost his Reaver and he hasn't replaced it, so there's still no additional Reavers here. Cannon to clean up all those Widow Mines, all the Spider Mines. So just a gateway army. Likewise, ByuN back at home, going pure tank Vulture, at least initially. Spider Mines are set, and I'll be honest, I don't think Mana can break this. He's gonna try to go for it. He has Zeltier in that shuttle, so he can go for a drop. Ooh, Observer goes down. Observer does fall. Jesus. There's just no breaking this position. ByuN is fully set up. Mana going for a Zealot drop, spots the rotation. Mana is aware. He's keeping up. Keeping up with the Dragoons. Going to +1 air attack, going into carrier production. Let's go. He's going for Sky Toss. I was waiting to see. I was like, are we going to go back into Storm? Are we going to go into Reavers? Like, what's the plan for Mana? The plan is Sky Toss. His carrier. Oh, mass spider mines here in between the bases. We'll be catching reinforcements. Yeah, Dragoon's going to be going down. Oh, there are so many spider mines in the middle line. It's going to go down. There's no saving this. At the same time, Mana, he does push in. Dives on top of the tanks. Tanks are going to be falling, at least some of them. Oh my god. But ByuN should be able to hold on. Cleans up all the Dragoons, shuts them down. Meanwhile, these vultures are just getting out of hand. Diving into the main, they take down the cannon. They should throw down another wave of spider mines if they have them available. Some of them do. Yeah, workers are going to be falling. ByuN breaks through the center. He's going for the kill. Yeah, alas, mana he cannot build up. He cannot get close to that Skytoss army. It's not going to happen. Oh my god. More spider mines. More camping of the production. GG gets called, and mana, he just cannot deal with this. ByuN will take a 2-1 lead. Whew, GG. GG, well played. Hi, hi, hi. Oh, God. That's like getting into our next game. Messaging ByuN. I'm like, your Brutal is so strong. And ByuN's like, why am I so Gosu? I can't lose. ByuN's like, I can't help it. I just win. It's crazy. ByuN. I can't stop winning. I'm like, oh, time to play in the Superstar League. Let's go. So we're getting to our next game. As a reminder, game 4 is going to be SE2 versus SE2. Here we go. We are getting ready here for the StarCraft 2 variation. And we'll see if we can go all the way to the ace match. Personally, I would love to see an ace match between these two players. But this is going to be a tough one for Mana. I will say that Mana has been looking very impressive in PvTs as of late. He has gotten some big wins under his belt, but can he bring down ByuN in StarCraft 2? Ooh, it's not going to be easy. Not going to be easy. As our players are preparing, just making sure we have everyone invited, everyone involved, and our next game is going to be on Frostline. Here we go. And if we make it to the ace match again, the players, they can pick and choose whether or not they want to play SC2 or Brood War. If we can get there. That's the last mana. He was just torn apart by the speed of those vultures. And again, like, the game isn't meant to be balanced for Brood War versus Brood War. You know, the mobility of that vulture-based army was crazy. Mana having a very hard time keeping up. But now we're loading into Frostline. Can play Brutal well. For sure, he can. He can. And now spawning into the top right-hand corner of Frostline, we have our South Korean Terran player, the SE2 Terran, leading the series 2-1, one game away from becoming this week's KungFu Cup champion. Can he claim that KFC? Can he get that chicken? It is ByuN. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the Polish Protoss player, the Blue Protoss, representing Team Liquid. It is Mana. Again, Mana is up against the wall. One more loss and he is out of the event. We'll see if he can bounce back. I see in the chat, SC versus SC2. Yes. So once again, just to reiterate, for those that are just now tuning in, this is a unique format for the tournament. Basically, in the finals of this tournament, Game 1 is SC2 versus Brood War. Game 2, Brood War versus SC2. So they switch. Game 3 is Brood War versus Brood War, and Game 4 is SC2 versus SC2. So they do kind of mix and match the matchups, and they do force quote-unquote mirror matchups for the game mode. So that is a unique feature here. Is a unique feature of the KungFu Cup. This is not done in StarCraft Evolution League, but this is being done here in KungFu Cup, just as a way to mix it up. I appreciate the unique format. It does lead to some different kind of pairings, of course. Just yeah, all good, all good, Chappy, all good. And we'll see how our players will approach this. Double gas. Okay, double gas opener out of ByuN, going Rex into factory. Going for a more aggressive start. This could lead into a mine drop. This could lead into early cyclone. This can lead into a tank drop as well. So the ball is going to be in ByuN's court. Mana back at home, going for a standard opener. Gate, Cyber, into Nexus. So standard opener out of Mana. Again, now we can kind of embrace SC2 versus SC2, something we're a little more familiar with when it comes to our builds. And we'll see what tech choice Mana goes for. Stargate, Robo, or Twilight Council. All three tech options are viable here. We are loading into a larger map, so I'm sure Mana is tempted to open up Stargate, but there it is, a Twilight Council out of Mana. So it should be Blink. So Blink-based opener out of Mana. We'll see if he goes for 2-gate Blink, 3-gate Blink, or 4-gate Blink Stalker. Depending on the gateway count, will depend on how aggressive he wants to be, or how economic. So Blink-based opener out of Mana. Meanwhile, ByuN looks like he's going for a Mine Drop. It looks like he's setting up for that Widow Mine drop, is making Widow Mines. Starport is on the way, getting ready for that drop play. Meanwhile, ByuN does dive into the main. Going to be deflected. He is deflected by the Sentry Opener. Hallucination moves out. Thanks to the Sentry Opener out of Mana, he will get a full scout of everything that's going on. He will confirm the 111. He will confirm the timing of the CC. And I believe he'll also confirm the Widow Mine, which is burrowed behind the command center. Hallucination doesn't quite confirm the mine, but does see the setup. Sees he following add-on, and yep, confirms Widow Mine. And mine drop goes off, so is aware of the mine drop. Mana knows. Mana, he knows what's coming. Sends out a second hallucination. It is going to be a tech lab on that factory. Hallucination will confirm whether or not this is an add-on swap into Banshee. So that's, speaking of add-on swap into Banshee, it's happening. ByuN can open up Raven, but Banshee openers have been very trendy. Oh, speaking of, Raven first here by ByuN, not Banshee, and the hallucination should confirm the add-on swap. So from here, I mean, both are viable, so Mana could be thinking of either one, but there is nothing researching on that tech lab, so he's aware there's at least no cloak. Widow Mine drop is coming in for ByuN, headed towards that natural, and Mana's ready. Mana, he's ready for this, for the most part. Does pull away. Oh, ByuN, he doubles back for a moment, pulls back around once again, does go for the boost. Oh, but he is going to be locked down. ByuN trying to be cheeky, breaks off into the main, does break off, goes to the mine drop. Mana does pull away in time. He will lose two, but he'll just lose one probe, and Mana defends. Mana does defend back at home, add-on swap once again. So just going to be a very safe opener here into Raven, into tanks. This also means if Mana did open up Dark Shrine, then there'd be a Raven to completely shut that down. Of course, ByuN did confirm the researching Twilight Council, so he knows he can now move out with Auto Charge Harass. So just really safe play here by ByuN, following this up with Biotank. Biotank production. Mana, he will take his extra gases. Interesting. This is a little bit more old school. This was how many gates? 2 gates. So it was 2-gate Blink into 4 gases into the Bay before the 3rd expansion. So late 3rd base from Mana in favor of faster Colossus. So once again, just really safe, secure play. This is a little bit more old school. This was a lot more popular a couple of years ago. Less so in modern day and in modern StarCraft. Nowadays, players, they prioritize charge over Colossus. So great to see something a little bit different here from Mana. As Extendable Lance is on the way, Colossus production will soon begin. We can see ByuN back at home getting to stim, getting to +1. Raven does go for the mineral line. And gets a couple of workers, not bad. Oh, as the probes, they do not pull away. That's going to be 5, 6 probe kills. Getting up to almost 7. Mana, he does have archive vision, but there are 2 tanks. There's tanks in the main. Mana, there's no way in. Does at least confirm that with the observer. ByuN, he sees it. Yeah, he sees the observer. He wants it. Oh, and he will get it. He will not actually. Nice save. Whew. Mana blinks in. Saves the observer. ByuN, he pulls away. Heads across the map. Oh. Spinny does get another 2 probes. Likewise, double drop into the main. Mana not quite in position. Does have some warpins available, thankfully. Likewise, blinking to the main base, going for combat shields. Oh, he will deny. Not bad. Combat shields is barely denied, but ByuN, he gets into the mineral line. He stims in. Probes are going to be going down. That is already too much damage. 11 probes. Oh my god. 11 workers go down. Nice kiting here against the Zealots, and Mana, he was just out of position. He was not ready for this. He was not expecting it dropping to the main. It's being shut down, bleeding out more and more Stalkers. The Marauders, they trade very well against this to take down almost every single Stalker. No anti-air. The medevac escapes. Medevac does drift away. Takes down most of the Stalkers. I'm afraid to look at the trades here. That was 5 Stalkers going down. 5 Stalkers, 9 probes, 2 Zealots and a Sentry. And here comes ByuN. Here comes the main army, and Mana, he is struggling. He does still have the Colossus though. And the Colossus, they do mean that the main army is still looking quite robust. Not the most mobile army, but he's ready here at the 3rd. ByuN moves out, he scans, confirms that there's not much in the main. The army must be elsewhere. Mana breaking out, massive swipes here on the ByuN, late siege. And Mana, I think he should barely hold on, it's going to be close. Yeah, bleeds out his supportive units. ByuN with the dive, doesn't get the Colossus. Doesn't get it. Mana holds. Whew. Mana, he barely holds on. And again, in a head-on fight, Mana, he can trade well. He can trade well for himself. It's these split pushes where he can struggle. Mana, he holds. He now has a 3rd Colossus. ByuN has to back off, takes his 3rd base, gets saturated, and Mana confirms with the observer. Does confirm. Up. As the Raven pulls away. Mana is going to try to punish ByuN. I mean, Mana did take a bit of fight. Mana still has 3 Colossus, and ByuN, he is vulnerable. At least a little bit more so than previously. He has no tanks. He has 1 bunker. Sorry, he has 1 tank at the 3rd. Bunker at the natural. Does run into the army. Oof. We'll take some extra shots. Trades relatively well against the Stalkers. Decent kiting. Mana still moving forward, still trying to commit in. Again, nice swipes with the Colossus. But as time goes on, we have Vikings on the way, and more Marauders as well, making 3 Marauders at a time. Mana trying to go for the kill. Zealots, they peel off, they run into the tank. Boys are being pulled. And ByuN, he's going for the dive. He wants a Colossus. He stims in, he gets 1. He gets 1, he gets 2. Oh, he's gonna shut this down. Yeah, the collapse is brutal here. There's 1 Colossus left. Vikings, they pop up. Oof. And Mana has to get the hell out of here. He does get some economic damage, that is true, but can he escape with the army? He can. Whew, he does pull out, does pull away. ByuN, he's down 20 SCVs. That was some good economic damage here out of Mana, but he is vulnerable. He is vulnerable. He lost 2 Colossus. He has to rebuild the Colossus gun as quickly as possible. As ByuN, he could still pull off a push. Like, ByuN still has a massive army. Mana getting a 4th. Saves a Colossus, now getting a 3rd. 3rd Colossus on the way. Mana leaves a little bit more time. And ByuN is waiting for his ghosts. He's waiting for the EMPs. before he moves out. Jeez, the mule hammer. Oh my god. The mules are insane here. So ByuN, he's still looking solid economically. Still looking good. You can see here, once the mules were dropped, the economy does skyrocket ahead in favor of ByuN. Minami gets spotted. Prism is seen. Ooh, okay, so the Vikings, they peel off to deal with the War Prism. That means the Vikings are not going to be with the main army to deal with the Colossus. Vikings are looking for that Prism.
Additional supply depots required.
And they will find it. Prism goes down. Nice pick off. Now the Vikings can reinforce. As they will spot the Zelts as well. Zelts are spotted. ByuN, he's just banking his reinforcements. Oh, loses the medevac. Medevac goes down. The Zelts get caught. Nice kiting. ByuN can now focus on his push. Forces a recall here into the third. A nice snipe on the medevac, so it does get a Colossus. Yeah, better trade for ByuN. He bleeds out 2 medevacs for Colossus. Trading with the Stalkers. Alas is going to get surrounded. Mana, he's holding on, getting another Colossi. Still no Disruptors, which is concerning. He's actually getting a 4th Colossus. Let's go. Did I say 4? Getting up to 5. This is a little bit excessive. Getting up to 5 Colossi. Now, 4 Colossus you can make an argument for, especially against ByuN's composition of a very heavy Marauder count. Typically against Marines, Colossus they do overkill and it's just a little bit too much. But against the Marauders you can make an argument. And maybe Mana, he assumes he's going to be bleeding out Colossus because there's going to be another Colossus going down. So just making as many Colossus as he can to replace the ones that he's losing. Viking Colossus coming in. Mana not taking a bad fight here. And collapse on the Marauders, takes down a tank. Nice pickoff. ByuN has to pull out, has to pull away. Mana, he's going for it. He's trying to. Alas, he's out of zealots. He's overextended. He does overextend. Another Colossus goes down. And another. Down to 2. Expensive losses there for Mana. Meanwhile, ByuN, he's on 4 bases. The planetary's up and running. Mana trying to get his own 5th base up and running as well. As Mana's trying to keep up economically, but these are still rough losses. And finally, we have some kind of alternate splash damage. I was waiting for Disruptors. It's going to be Storm. So Colossus alongside Storm instead for Mana. And that will be better. But is it enough? ByuN sees the expansion. He locks onto the base. He wants it. Mana, he double expands. Recognizes that he will most likely lose one of them. Ooh, and the mineral line's going to get caught out. Yeah, the base is going to go down. Unfortunately, there's no cancel. Mana, he just gives up on the expansion. Nexus will fall. Mana pulls away. Pulls away. ByuN stems in. Oh, nice EMP. EMP's on the Colossus. EMP goes off. Colossus is going to be going down. He gets 1, he gets 2. And the Vikings are going uncontested. They're going for another Colossus. Yeah, brutal EMP. Storm is done. But there's no Storm ready. Yeah, there's no another EMP. EMP goes off. No Storms. And ByuN does it. He breaks through the defensive line. Takes down the main army. Mana has nothing left to defend. GG gets called. And ByuN, he will take the series 3-1. Becoming, for the first time, a KungFu Cup champion. GG. GG, well played. ByuN, he will claim his first StarCraft Evolution win and will claim the KFC. He gets the KFC, Poppy claims the first win. GG, well played, congratulations. ByuN will take down Mana. Shout out to Mana. Mana had a very strong performance, making it here to the finals, but ByuN was able to surpass him, was able to bring him down. Whew. GG, well played. Very well played here. Congratulations. Hold on. I need a message. Let's go. As we have the tournament run of our players here, we have ByuN. ByuN takes down SKillous. That was the first big win. The first big win was ByuN cheesing the hell out of SKillous in the quarterfinals. And likewise, they would bring him down. It takes down MidOVK and takes down Mana in the grand finals. Purely TVP. Purely TVP. So big wins there out of ByuN. Didn't have to rely on TBT or TBZ. Not in this event. Again, there were no Zerg players. No Zerg players. Dark was the only notable Zerg, and Dark didn't play. Dark, he did give a walkover in the first round, so he did not quite play in the event. Oh, hold on. But yes, Dark, he didn't quite play in the event, so instead it was purely Terran and Protoss. Purely Terran and Protoss instead, and ByuN, he was able to have a crazy performance. Some of the other favorite players, they struggled. Classic did go down to Mana in a PvP, so that was a big win for Mana. Likewise, Spirit got knocked out very early on. Spirit got cheesed out by, oh god, what was his name? By, I want to say Skrillex, not Skrillex. Skunix, I think it was. I think it was Skunix. So I asked ByuN, I was like, yo, are you gonna play Warcraft 3 Evolution? Or yeah, you're gonna play Warcraft 3 Evolution, the mod. And he's like, he's never played Warcraft, so it's gonna be hard. I'm like, you'll be fine, Bob, you'll be fine. It'll be fine. We'll see. We'll see if ByuN is animated to play in next week's Warcraft 3 Evolution tournament. We'll see. But yeah, Spirit, he got cheesed out early on. Likewise, Classic got knocked out by Mana. Dark never played, so the typical favorite players that we expected were not quite able to make those deep runs, and as a result, we had a new pairing in the finals with ByuN and Mana. GG, very well played. Hope to see more of them in the future. And when it comes to next week's tournament, as I was just alluding to, the reason why I asked ByuN about Warcraft 3 Evolution is that next week, as you can see the title, this is the KungFu Cup number 3 SC Evolution Edition. Next week is Warcraft 3 Evolution. The plan is to alternate. So this week, SC Evolution, next week, Warcraft 3, week after that, StarCraft, week after that, Warcraft 3. So they plan on alternating back and forth between the mods. If you haven't heard about Warcraft 3 Evolution, it is likewise similar to this mod, where it incorporates the Warcraft 3 races into StarCraft 2, and they face off against each other, also balanced between Warcraft 3 and StarCraft 2. It is, I would say, a lot, I would say it's a little bit less refined. It's a little bit less refined as a mod, but it's a lot of fun. It is a lot of fun, and it's crazy chaotic. As you can imagine, the Warcraft 3 units are very powerful. They're very tanky. They do a lot of damage to make up for the lower unit count. So the unit count is lower for Warcraft 3, but they're more powerful to compensate. And heroes are a big factor. Really, you can see like a hero make or break a fight. Like mate, I'm still, every time I just think of the Mountain King and the Mountain King and the Thunderclap every time. Or just AoE in general, whether it's that, whether it's the Flame Strike from the Sage, from the Spellcaster, whether it's the Lich going for the Frost Nova, like Frost Nova from the Lich. And I'm thinking of one other, Blizzard from the human wizard character as well. But like the hero AoE damage is crazy. It's like it's insane what it does to StarCraft armies. But it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. It's definitely something different, something more unique. Check it out. Do check it out. We have VODs on YouTube relating to Warcraft 3 Evolution, the mod, I should say, in StarCraft, and we're going to be featuring it next week in the next KungFu Cup. Thunderclap plus Zerglings equals better than Disruptor hits. Unironically, yes. Because the difference is that the Thunderclap is instant. And you can spam it as well because it costs mana, right? It costs mana, so I mean, I say you can quote unquote spam it. It does have a cooldown, I believe, but like it's just crazy. Just the instant damage. The finger licking good. Exactly. He gets the KFC. Every time I cast KungFu Cup, I get hungry and then I want some KFC back. Smooch. One day. That's how he got talked into playing SEL. There you go. That's how it worked. But otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks for the support. Hope you all enjoyed yourselves. Again, just something more unique and a little bit more fun, a little bit more laid back is this mod. And hope you all enjoyed yourselves. Hope you all have a great rest of your week. We're going to be back tomorrow, checking our weekly schedule here. What is our is tomorrow the podcast? No, tomorrow is Thermal's 2v2 circuit. Oh my god, tomorrow morning even. 9 AM KST, that's going to be 11 AM AEST. We are going to be covering the replays of Thermal's 2v2 circuit. Again, this is the March edition. We did admin the event over the weekend, and now we are here to cover it here on the channel in a couple of hours' time. That is going to be in 9.5 hours. So 9.5 hours, we're going to be live with Thermal's 2v2 circuit. So do tune into that. It's going to be a lot of fun. I should be having a cheeky ladder session afterwards. So look forward to that. The Smoge is going to be real, but I'm most likely going to be laddering after Thermal's cast. Likewise, Saturday we have the Pondcast. And on Sunday, we have the Host Masters Cup and the Sparkling Tuna Cup as well. So plenty of content throughout the next couple of days. Do check it out. Do tune in. Otherwise, if you see something that you like here, and if you cannot watch it live, check out the VODs. Check out the VODs over on YouTube. You get ! socials in the chat, and you'll get a link to our YouTube channel alongside Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all things like CranKy Ducklings. Bam. As all of our links are in the chat. Again, we upload on YouTube on a daily basis. We post on the socials whenever we have a VOD, of course, as well. So plenty of content on the channel. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks for the support. We'll see you guys next time. We'll see you tomorrow for Thermal's 2v2 circuits, again, in 9 hours' time. Or we'll see you the day after for the Pondcast. For some more casting, some more StarCraft. I'm sure we'll see you at some point as we are live on a daily basis. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Stick around. We're going to be giving another StarCraft streamer a raid. We'll find someone to send everyone over to. Let's have a look. Who is live? Who can we raid? Let's have a look here. Hearthstone is live. Oh, Hearthstone has plenty of viewers. Vrody is doing some Mechabellum streams. Who else is live? Strange is live, true. Sal is having breakfast. We could raid Sal. We could have breakfast together with Sal. Lambo just went live. True. Can raid Lambo. Lambo just went live. Do we want breakfast with Sal, or do we want some StarCraft ladder with Lambo? What's the plan? I'll flip a coin. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks for the support, and we'll see you guys next time for some more StarCraft action. Until then, thanks for watching. Take care of yourselves. Have a great rest of your week. Have a great rest of your day as well. Take care. Hydrate your hydras. Stretch your marines. Drink plenty of water, and we'll see you next time. Until then, hasta luego. Ciao, papi, ciao. Hasta luego.